Hello everyone, I am BowserJrXD. Welcome to the United Rentals 250 at Talladega Super Speedway. Race 31 of 33 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series in 2025. The last Super Speedway of the race of the year of 6. And of course, it is the middle race of the round of 8, which means it's extra perilous for the 8 remaining playoff drivers. Thankfully, only one RCR driver is in the top 8, so we only have to worry about Jesse Love being the dominant threat. But he probably should be in the final 4. Whether he should win the championship is another thing entirely. Nevertheless, it's going to be a competitive day for those so hard to beat Chevrolets, and sure to be a fun day in general.
In motorsports, take it away, Marty.
Drivers, start your engine!
And with that, 38 drivers ready to hit the track. Here is today's starting lineup. Starting 38th, driving the number 54, Operation 300 Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. 20 years old from Artesia, New Mexico, Taylor Gray, the first rookie in the field. Starting 37th, driving the number 74, Costa Oil Filters Chevrolet for Mike Harmon Racing. 25 years old from Jamestown, North Carolina, Carson Ware. Starting 36th, driving the number 53, Donate Life Alabama Chevrolet for Joey Gase Motorsports with Scott Austin. 32 years old from Cedar Rapids, Iowa, Joey Gase. Starting 35th, driving the number 28, Big House Construction Ford for RSS Racing. 23 years old from Tucker, Georgia, Kyle Sieg. Starting 34th, driving the number 44, Clark's Directional Boring Chevrolet for Alpha Prime Racing. 27 years old from the Woodlands, Texas, Brennan Poole. Starting 33rd, driving the number 14, Thermotech Chevrolet for SS Greenlight Racing. 33 years old from Ligonier, Pennsylvania, Garrett Smithley. Starting.
What are we talking about?
Oh, so hello there. So this is it. So I like to do racing streams, and I decided to park myself in this one while I'm doing my stream in case someone else was interested and wanted to perhaps watch, because none of my friends are usually popping in the VC. So I decided to switch things up a bit and go to a different Discord chat than I would normally go through. I am just going over the starting lineup for the races I usually do for my streams.
No, okay.
Okay, starting 32nd, driving the number 35 to rescue the American Spirit Chevrolet for Joey Gase Motorsports with Scott Austin. Thank you for the friend request. 58 years old from Houston, Texas, David Starr. And speaking of old people, shout outs to Norm Benning. Yeah, from yesterday, 73 years old. Had to get out of his truck because the engine blew and was spewing toxic fumes everywhere. Hope he's doing all right. Starting 31st, driving the number 45, Alloy Employer Services Chevrolet for Alpha Prime Racing. 32 years old from Port Charlotte, Florida, Josh Williams. I'm just going to deafen while I'm doing the starting lineup. I will be back, though. Starting 30th, driving the number 25, Dex Imaging Ford for AM Racing. 25 years old from Huntersville, North Carolina, Harrison Burton. Starting 29th, driving the number 70, Wawa Chevrolet for Coke Family Racing. 20 years old from Mooresville, North Carolina, Leland Honeyman Jr. Starting 28th, driving the number 07, Furman Chevrolet for SS Greenlight Racing. 29 years old from Chesapeake, Virginia, Nick Lights. Starting 27th, driving the number 42, Botticelli Chevrolet for Young's Motorsports. 26 years old from Ridgefield, Connecticut, Anthony Alfredo. Starting 26th, driving the number 32, Bomarito Automotive Group Chevrolet for Jordan Anderson Racing. 34 years old from Forest Acres, South Carolina, Jordan Anderson. Starting 25th, driving the number 5, Mongoose Power Solutions Chevrolet for Alpha Prime Racing. 49 years old from Parkland, Florida, Cesar Baccarella. Starting 24th, driving the number 4, Everyman Jack Chevrolet for Alpha Prime Racing. 34 years old from Rhinelander, Wisconsin, Parker Retzloff. Starting 23rd, driving the number 39, Psyops Ford for RSS Racing. 38 years old from Tucker, Georgia, Ryan Sieg. Starting 22nd, driving the number 71, Tableau TV Chevrolet for DGM Racing with Jesse Ouji Motorsports. 22 years old from Ashburn, Virginia, Ryan Ellis. Starting 21st, driving the number 51, All South Electrical Chevrolet for Jeremy Clements Racing. 40 years old from Spartanburg, South Carolina, Jeremy Clements. Starting 20th, driving the number 48, Caroline Jones No Tellin Chevrolet for Big Machine Racing. 24 years old from Miami, Florida, Nick Sanchez, the second rookie in the field. Starting 19th, driving the number 91, Densey Energy Pouches Chevrolet for DGM Racing with Jesse Rugi Motorsports. 21 years old from Palm Beach Garden, Florida, Mason Maggio. Starting 18th, driving the number 99, Apave or Apave Chevrolet for Viking Motorsports. 26 years old from Charlotte, North Carolina, Connor Mosak. Starting 17th, driving the number 26, Assured Partners TPG Toyota for Sam Hunt Racing. 24 years old from Anaheim, California, Dean Thompson, the third rookie in the field. Starting 16th, driving the number 00, Road Ranger Ford for Haas Factory Team. 28 years old from Alpine, California, Sheldon Creed, the first of the playoff drivers. Starting 15th, driving the number 10, Champion Container Chevrolet for Colleague Racing. 21 years old from DeLand, Florida, Daniel Dye, the fourth rookie in the field. Starting 14th, driving the number 31, Werner Chevrolet for Jordan Anderson Racing. 25 years old from Bakersfield, California, Blaine Perkins. Starting 13th, driving the number 41, Audible Ford for Haas Factory Team. 22 years old from Franklin, Wisconsin, Sam Mayer, the second playoff driver and the highest of the 5 Fords. Starting 12th, driving the number 11, Action Industries Chevrolet for Colleague Racing. 27 years old from Chesapeake, Virginia, Brendan Butterbean Queen. Starting 11th, driving the number 8, Pilot Chevrolet for Junior Motorsports. 21 years old from Johnston, Iowa, Sammy Smith, the third playoff driver. Now for the top 10. Starting 10th, driving the number 20, Menards Little Hugs Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. 28 years old from Atlanta, Georgia, Brandon Jones, the fourth playoff driver. I should note the one before him, Sammy Smith in the 8, is not in the owners' playoffs. Starting 9th, driving the number 19, Young Life Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. 41 years old from Tampa, Florida, Eric Almirola. The 19 is locked into the owner's final 4. Starting 8th, driving the number 7, Brandt Chevrolet for Junior Motorsports. 39 years old from Riverton, Illinois, Justin Allgaier, the 5th playoff driver. Starting 7th, driving the number 88, First Bank of Alabama Chevrolet for Junior Motorsports. 19 years old from Mooresville, North Carolina, Connor Zilich, the sixth playoff driver and the 5th rookie in the field. Starting 6th, driving the number 27, Sportsman Channel Chevrolet for Jordan Anderson Racing. 33 years old from Halifax, Virginia, Jeb Burton. Starting 5th, driving the number 21, Bennett Transportation Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing. 31 years old from Winston, Georgia, Austin Hill. The 21 is still in the owners' playoffs. Starting 4th, driving the number 1, Bass Pro Shops Clarience Technology Chevrolet for Junior Motorsports. 22 years old from Mooresville, North Carolina, Carson Quapple, the 7th playoff driver and rookie, and he is not in the owners' playoffs. Starting 3rd, driving the number 16, Morris Shea Bridge Company Inc. Chevrolet for Colleague Racing. 24 years old from Middletown, New York, Christian Eckes, the 7th playoff driver. Starting on the outside pole, driving the number 18, Sound Gear Toyota for Joe Gibbs Racing. 19 years old from Eden Prairie, Minnesota, William Sawalage, the highest starting rookie, and the highest starting Toyota of the 5 Toyotas. And on the pole, driving the number 2, Wheelan Chevrolet for Richard Childress Racing, with a pole time of 52.605 seconds and an average speed of 182.036 miles per hour. 20 years old from Menlo Park, California, highest starting of the 27 Chevrolets, must be 28 Chevrolets, hold on. Yeah, highest starting of the 28 Chevrolets, and the highest starting playoff driver, Jesse Love. That is our starting lineup for today's United Rentals 250.
Thank you, Elm Street.
All right.
About the Fords today, guys. Ryan Sieg, number 39, is going to start 23rd.
Well, Ed, can you see the screen?
And Harrison Burton is going to start 30th. He has 3 top 10s in the drafting tracks this season.
We know he's good at these speedways.
for sure. And starting out back is a number 54, Taylor Gray. They had a transmission issue in qualifying and weren't able to post a lap. He finished 11th here in the spring. Got some work to do from back there. Taylor Gray, just a perfect example. There are potential winners throughout the field. 250-mile race today. Things will be electric at Talladega. And now we get the keys to
another male element. Filled with rage. He's been thrown to style tracks.
You got to decide when to be aggressive or not to be. And I want to learn all race long. As we get down to the end of these stages, you're going to have a couple of chances to work on what you're going to do at the finish. I think you're going to see the guys work on that. Most importantly, when we get to Talladega, though, you got to have some luck. You got to avoid the wrecks. You got to hope when it gets down to the last lap that you make the right decision. And
You wouldn't expect this from the female field. When a male elephant seal came home empty-handed after a day of hunting, he was stunned by what he saw. His mate was entangled with another male elephant seal, filled with rage. He stood frozen, letting out a roar, sounding like intense stuff. The male elephant seal couldn't believe his mate was pregnant, holding onto a sliver of hope, cautiously approached, only to have that hope shattered. Not wanting to harm the mate, he bit another seal into view, but the other seal wasn't backing down, fighting back at the relentless heights of his day.
This year, we are hungry to prove ourselves. We know we bring fast race cars. I know what I can do at these style racetracks. His confidence level is very high as a two-time Talladega winner. He said today is all about redemption, Dylan.
And Kim, maybe the guy and the car with the least amount to lose today is Eric Almirola in the 19 car, with a car that can win, that isn't having to worry about points or the pressure of having to win. They can just go try their best. And as Eric said to me earlier, we can get on the plane at the end of the day pretty content either way. They do have some teammates today, namely the 20 of Brandon Jones, that are of course still in the championship fight. Eric said that they'll try to do what they can to not make things more difficult on them in the first two stages, but come stage 3, it's every man for himself. The 19 has a race they want to win for their guys.
Almirola outstanding with that win last week at Las Vegas, but one driver he was keeping an eye on the entire evening last week out west, Jesse Love, who starts on the pole today. Here's driver 2 pep talk.
Looking good out front there, homie. Let's keep it there all day. Let's execute a solid day, and let's be there at the end to get this trophy. Yeah, absolutely. Not a whole lot to talk about. Done a good job preparing for it. Put a lot of work into these races, so go do our deal, control what we can control, be as perfect as we can all day.
Well, a lot of optimism out of the two team here. Danny Stockman in a good mood right now. Set that car on the pole. Jesse Love's done a great job at these style tracks. RCR, we talked about the dominance they've had, so a lot of confidence there.
Danny Stockman's always been a great hype man, and I like, you know, he's always hyped when his car's up front, especially in qualifying. I would have a lot of confidence in Jesse Love and that whole race team here to keep that car up front. We know they've done it before.
Talladega Superspeedway just embodies what NASCAR is all about. The history, the tradition, the camping, its geographical location. It checks every box. And here's a great perspective of how massive this place is, courtesy of the Lucas Oil helicopter.
Coming around the tri-oval. Pace car coming off. 94 laps around the 2.66 mile tri-oval superspeedway.
Next to him, William Sawallich.
Through the tri-oval, down to the entrance to turn number 1.
In one of the great racetracks on the NASCAR circuit.
Here we go, the second race of the round of 8 to determine our final 4. We are green at Talladega.
Hooked up on the bottom already there. Christian Eckes right into the back bumper of Jesse Love. Real disconnected on the top. That's going to rocket those two out in front.
Yes, just so you know, they'll let those front groups hook bumpers through turns 1 and 2. Once you get to the back stretch, you got to release, let that car go. You cannot push all the way around the racetrack.
You know, yesterday the
Love was on the high lane. He goes down to block the bottom with Almirola. Or I think that's for Almirola. Well, he's way down back.
They carried it. I thought
oh, that's
I think
that's Eckes.
How that pans out today. They continue side by side into turn 3 for the first time.
Such a long ways around here. At the start of this race, it looked like that inside row was going to be checked out as the momentum came back on the outside.
Back half of the field already trying to fracture in terms of
finish
keeping
line.
the lines
Way
together.
around here on the front stretch.
High speed pace lap through the tri-oval. Jamie said it. Start finish line right there.
Jesse Love was already trying to control the lanes as they came off for 2 on the first lap there. William Sawallich was able to come back on the outside, as you mentioned, Jamie. And that was really from the push of Carson Bond, who got to his back bumper through 1 and 2. It's pretty even lines right now. And this is
days when you're just assessing which line maybe has a little more momentum. Everyone's trying to figure out their cars a little bit. Remember, no practice. You only had one lap in qualifying.
Right now, still has their affiliation with Childress. At least it was clarified that they will separate Childress after 26.
You watch Jesse Love move up there to the top side to protect that top lane and right back to the bottom.
Yeah, and typically you'll see that bottom line stay a little more organized. When you're in the second groove on the outside, you see Taylor Gray on the very, very top in that white and yellow 54. They'll make it 3 wide, and that makes the outside row get shorter and shorter. And whatever line is longer typically has the most momentum. Look at the run. It's Sheldon Creed.
Outside lane, beginning to form.
The red, white, and blue. 00.
Yeah, the middle line there got checked up, and you see how separated they are right now all throughout that middle line. That allowed that outside line to form up and get a bit of momentum. Sheldon Creed dips out of that, and that white and blue 00 there into the center line and left Nick Sanchez on the outside. Pops back to the outside now.
Creed going to the outside of Brandon Jones. Let's get an update. Driver 20. Here's Dylan.
Yeah, well, we're going to hear so much today about how important radio and spotter communication is. The 20 team had a little radio scare at the start of this race. Take a listen.
All my stuff's brand new. I just had it worked on this week and in victory. Neither one of you has done it right to me since we started talking. Y'all been standing to me the whole time. So bad.
The problem was on the backstretch. Brandon was having trouble hearing spotter Chris Lambert. They said that Lambert was going to be critical for them today in their success. He's one of the best spotters on the roof spots for Denny Hamlin on Sundays. They switched to a backup radio, and the problem seems to have been fixed.
So I think the only way that we can compare that is if you've ever had a bad cell signal and you're trying to comprehend what somebody's saying. They don't have time in the cars to think like that. When the spotter says something, you need to make that decision immediately. If you're trying to process what they're saying, you think about how aggravating that can be. And there's the idea, if you're even talking, you think there's issues. You don't, what's happening, and should I make this move? And did they see that or not? And so it just adds so much of you questioning exactly what's happening at that moment, and you can't have that when you have to make split-second decisions.
Brendan Queen, 11, 99, Connor Mozak. A couple of drivers we don't always see racing in the Xfinity Series. Some contact right here.
Yeah, just a little bit of a checkup. It looks like right there. They did a nice job. That could have been bad for the 99. Gets into the back of Brennan right there. See, they lost their momentum. That whole row started to check up. I'm liking what I'm seeing on the top, though. If we look about halfway back in that pack, the red, white, blue 00 car, Sheldon Creed is really committed. He's got Nick Sanchez right behind him, who has a fast car. It's a kind of affiliated with the RCR group, great engines. But Sheldon's committed, and they've got 3 or 4 guys behind them also committed. And if you can keep that group together, they will be able to work their way to the front. I don't know if they can get all the way to the front, but that bottom line, sometimes those get checked up with people on the entry to the corner and allows the outside to catch up.
And then as they work their way forward, I wonder if some of those guys in that middle lane start jumping up in front of them to continue to help the energy in that outside lane. We're 6 laps in. It's stage 1 at Talladega. I give you the Mobil 1 leaderboard. Jesse Love, Williams, Sawalich up front. And they're there with Quapple, Eckes, and Jeb Burton. You're watching the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
All right, commercial break. Thankfully, full screen. Oh, no. Split commercials. During the commercials. Like some good old water. The third lane is, I think, might now be side by side with the other 2. Wait, why does it say checkered? We're not near checkered. Jesus. Okay, third lane is not there. Is not up to the front yet, but we've gotten past Brandon Jones, so we're only a few rows away from it being a 3-way race then. Here they come. Third lane is there. No, but now there's just a 3-car breakaway up front. Love, Eckes, Hill. Austin Hill finding his way to his teammate. Looking for one more win to finish out the year. RCR hasn't won, I think, since Austin Hill won at Talladega. All right, now the lanes have caught back up. Austin Hill's covering the low line. Love is covering the middle. I can't see what car that is. Might be Carson. No, it's not Carson Quabble. Oh, it's still Eckes in second. But soon, Love will have to block 3 wide. Inside lane is starting to dominate again. It's where Jesse Love migrated down to.
Can make your power play by heading to your local lottery retailer to get in the game for tonight's estimated Powerball jackpot of $295 million.
You would not see me tomorrow. I'll tell you right now. I already knew that answer. I will be out.
How about this racing? I mean, we got a little bit of a breakaway here at the front, but then behind these first 4 or 5 in that bottom lane, maybe 6 of them there, 3 wide, a lot of chucking and jiving and dicing going on.
It's been all over the place. A lot has happened here. The third lane came into fray there for a second, led by Sheldon Creed. They got all the way up to maybe third or fourth for a second. Then the middle lane started to struggle a little bit, and the bottom lane became dominant. So it's just been a lot of moving around and seeing which lanes are working. It doesn't seem like, to me, as I watch this, any particular lane looks like the one to be in. Maybe the ones that whatever one the RCR cars are leading. But other than that, it seems to be very even across the 3 lanes.
Yeah, I'm here with Jet Burton, State Water Heaters on board camera.
Yeah, a lot of those guys you see in the middle are actually on the bottom. The previous lap, they've moved up. I think everybody's trying to figure out where they can get to the front the best. You see that white and blue number 21 right there. You do not want to get those 2 cars hooked up, and they are now. It's going to be a really hard group of cars, both being RCR. We know how dominant they've been at these tracks. And the guy behind them in the green and blue number 19, Eric Almirola, he's won at the cup level at tracks like this. Always a threat when we come to the drafting track.
Jesse Love is in a comfortable place, leading at Talladega, led 28 in the 2 laps here last year, led 50 laps here in the spring. He's now led laps in all of his 12 career starts in the draft. This kid is so impressive and so quickly just gripped on to this style of racing. I know he's with RCR. I know how fast their cars are, but to watch him do what he's doing right now is
back up. Jesse Love,
to your
leader, blocking everywhere.
He's
Hill trying to run on the outside. Love goes
it's
up to black and
multiple
holds
times
the
down
lead.
each straightaway that he's protecting and covering different lanes, killing their momentum, then seeing another lane get momentum, covering that, and he moves all over the racetrack. And who did he really learn that from? I feel like a lot of respects, the man behind him, the 21 Austin Hill, who's probably the master of doing that exact thing. Jesse Love has really gone to school on that, and he's showing it here today. He consistently moves at the exact right times to cover those lanes.
Let's listen to their team as he executes out front.
Still by 1 1/4 to 21, 3 to the bottom, 27, no help them. Help us with us. By 1 1/2, now 7's helping the 27, too far detached, so inside, come down half. All right, now stay off, keep 21 though.
As you listen to the communication between the spotter and the driver, I can't tell you how mentally exhausted you are
when one of these races is over, because as you listen to all that as a driver, you're trying to process it. You're also looking in the rearview mirror. The whole time here, he sees the 21 coming up behind him, and you're trying to time out. Are they going to pass? Are they going the inside? Are they going the outside? And then everything that spotter's telling you, when these races are over, you're just mentally, you're just exhausted.
Over halfway through our first stage, Love has led 11 laps.
Got very loose there.
And he continues to control this field. But boy,
God!
is he working hard out front. And this move was key for Love to get ahead of the curve and take the top spot. Starts on the pole, and he is in charge. Driver 2 getting it done at Talladega Super Speedway.
Men, get ahead of your curve with a bump. Explore Peyronie's disease treatments at GetSomebody4PD.com.
Your new bike is officially protected by America's #1 motorcycle insurer. We can now safely go wherever the wind takes us. That's right. It was one of those books that smelled bad, but in a good way, you know?
Still green, thankfully. 15 laps without a caution thus far. Someone trying to make a move to the inside. Jesse Love. It looks like it's Nick Sanchez. And he's now the leader. He's got to block Austin Hill on the inside. Let me reload the page for a minute.
Do it.
Oh, there's a wreck! Massive wreck! Harrison Burton, Sheldon Creed. Oh, God, multiple cars involved. Obviously, I call it the big one. I saw Creed. Creed's the only playoff driver I know for sure. Yeah, there's Sheldon Creed in the Road Ranger Ford, rolling away with his damaged number 00. Brandon Jones with damage. So another Burton was in it as well. I mean, Ryan Sieg. Oh, that's a car with no hood. Or the hood's, oh, that's Creed. The hood is covering the windshield. Mayer isn't, I've heard as well. Okay, there's Sam Mayer. Looks like Zelich is okay. Or is he? Well, Zelich isn't. There's the 00 still wandering around. Jordan Anderson. All right, so.
Wheeling the official warning lights of NASCAR and America's most trusted manufacturer of emergency lights and sirens. Playoff drivers involved. You see the heavy damage for the 00 of Sheldon Creed. His teammate Sam Mayer got a piece. Brandon Jones was damaged.
Okay,
we highlight Jeb Burton
number
is the
27
big one
on the low
transpires here at Dega.
Right, this is through the tri-oval. This is when the cars are most on edge right here. You
see bad.
Jeb gets in the
So Brandon Jones is the one who slipped, hits Creed, and they Creed him at the wall. Brandon Queen looks like he was also in the wreck. But it's the 00 that hit the wall the hardest. He also got plowed into by the number 39, O'Brien C.
I'd like to know what was in front of the 00, or did he have an issue? You see, he's right behind Sawalich. It's like they all checked up just a little bit. Kind of the
27 kind of drifting up. Oh.
Jones hooks him in the right rear.
And that is the most treacherous place.
I think
of
Jeremy
Talladega
Clemens
for these
drifted
race cars.
down,
The car
and
is the
he had
most
Jordan
on edge
Anderson
through that
and
travel,
Anthony
especially
Alfredo.
On the bottom, it's very flat. There's very little banking, and any sort of touch in your rear bumper really upsets the car. You said that correctly. Obviously, Sheldon was checking up a little bit to not get in the back of William Sawalich there through the tri-oval. Jeb got in the back of him, got loose because of that, tried to move at the racetrack, and then everyone was just involved. But basically, that stems from just how on edge the cars are through this section right here.
Yeah, you see all those cars stacked up on each other. The backs of these cars are just extremely light. Part of the reason being is that there's
Carson
no
Ware will
banking
get
there.
the
Once
free
they get
pass.
into turns 1 and 2, 3, and 4, there's so much banking. Flew right on board with Daniel Dye right here, get his perspective. Oh, he doesn't.
Right through the center.
I would like to tell you that was skill. His eyes were closed. It happened right there.
We're on board here of Jed. So there's the tap in the rear bumper of Sheldon Creed. He moves up.
How did he not get hit by
It's Brandon Jones there.
And he got some damage.
A little bit.
But overall, he was able to sneak through. And I rewind to the springtime. He had damage in that race, too, and was in position to win it.
Yeah, and as you watch Jeff there, I think it would be easy to blame him for what happened, but he's trying to check up. The back of his car's light. He's trying to gather that. He didn't want to move up. It's almost, that's just where his car ends up. The 20 was on his outside. And as you said, Parker, it's just such a sketchy part of the track for all these guys.
Ryan Sieg had his car destroyed. Harrison Burton gets damaged. Jordan
But
Anderson
3 playoff
roughed up
drivers
as
were
well.
involved
We'll give
in
you the
that
car
one.
count on how many were involved and how bad the damage is in just a second. First, let's go 27, Team Radio and Jeb Burton's group.
00 got loose or something. 00 checked up. I ran in the back of him, and then that just all hell broke loose.
And as you listen to that, it happens fast, right? Inside the car, I thought that's exactly what we saw. He wasn't sure why hell broke loose, right? It all happened so quick inside of the car, and it just takes such a slight contact there of the 20 getting into the right rear quarter of Sheldon, and then once the wreck starts, it's just you're along for the ride when you're behind them.
And it's early to be pushing through there. That's something you do later in the race, later in stage 3, when you're really trying to make up time, make momentum happen through there as you're fighting maybe particularly for the end, towards the win. But at this point in the race, I think one of the reasons you saw Sheldon sort of check up there was he was trying to play it a little bit safe when he caught William Sawalich in front of him. But in doing so, it sort of set his destiny of getting run in the back by Jeff Burton.
Look at the updated standings here with these drivers that have received damage. Mayer
Carson
came in
Quapple,
+8. He's now
24
shown
behind.
-6.
22 behind.
Sammy Smith
now
is in the game,
+6.
but he came in 24 points out. With everything that has transpired. He now showed 10 below the cut line. Brandon Jones was below the cut coming in. Same for Sheldon Creed. They've lost more ground. And Carson Quapple, 22 out when the day began, +6, and he's running in a pretty good spot here today. The big one happens in stage 1 at Talladega. Playoff drivers involved. 10 cars damaged.
Yep. The Ryan C. Custer, Cole Custer. You mean Sheldon Creed? Well, great. Well, let's see how long this will last. Red flag. Great. I hate when that happens. Next week I start my job stuff. I don't want to have to wait. I'm just chill.
The NASCAR Xfinity Series is brought to you by Progressive. Save when you bundle home, auto, and motorcycle insurance. Visit Progressive.com. Toyota, let's go places. And by Credit One Bank, NASCAR American Express card. Sheldon Creed, one of the drivers involved in this early crash here at Talladega Superspeedway. Backing things up, going to pull it into the garage.
Damn, yeah, that thing is...
Window net is down.
How could they think that was going to work?
There's no body
There's
work
no
left
rear
on that race car.
They're missing part of the
look
front.
like
There's no
modified,
hood. Good
Brandon
Lord.
Jones sitting idle. We're now under the red flag, and so these teams can assess what they want to do. But because we're under the red flag, NASCAR rules indicate you can't work on the race car. So you put your plan in place so the minute that we go back to yellow, you can start the process to getting things where you want them. As we get ready to celebrate our nation's 250th anniversary next July, the CW is honoring the people who make our country so special. It's all part of My American Story, and we're kicking things off with NASCAR's own Connor Zilisch, who's got an incredible story to share.
Hey, I'm Connor Zilisch. This is My American Story. My parents, my mom and my dad, have been behind me since day one, and you know, this sport is not easy. There's been a lot of uncertainty along the way. Nobody in my family let me quit, and I think that's why I'm sitting here today. Every day I wake up and you know, I remember 10-year-old me with a dream, and 10-year-old me is what motivates me. Like, I wanted to get to the highest level, and I wanted to be winning races and championships. Nobody's going to sit around and wait for you. You got to put the effort in and wake up every day knowing that if you don't do it, somebody else will. Winning a championship, I'm guessing you would probably see tears out of me.
Brought to you by the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed.
I would say there would be tears if he won the championship. There should be.
Of course, what a season.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's a great comment by Connor right there. A lot of times when you see emotions, not just from race car drivers, but from athletes in general, it's because of how hard they've worked to get there. Everything that they've sacrificed, everything that they've done. And when you finally get that major success or that huge win, it's like just a sigh of relief, and the emotions sometimes overtake you.
And living up to the dream that you've set out to accomplish, and you know, everything it takes to go after this, and your family, and you mentioned his family, what they put into it, especially in the motorsports realm. It really takes a full commitment from the full family to go after this and try to make it into a career. And with the season he has had, the ups and downs and everything that's incurred this year, I definitely would not blame him for being emotional.
He's in the round of 8. So is his teammate, Sammy Smith. They're just outside the top 10 as we sit here under the red flag. Sammy Smith came in 24 below the cut line. No margin for error. Might need to win to advance to the championship 4. And watch him come through this accident through the tri-oval.
I mean, they cleared out just right in time for Sammy. You want to depend on your spotter there, but that's really just on the brakes, kind of looking around, and it's instinct to get through those moments and luck.
The one thing I will say is he had a slight advantage, which was actually being at the back of the pack, so you don't have to look behind you as much. You can get on the brakes a little bit harder, give yourself more time to assess where all the cars in front of you are headed, where they're sort of going as they get hit into each other, and go, okay, this is the path I'm going to go towards. It's those cars in the middle of that pack that we say is sort of the danger zone. The reason being, it's not only because it's most likely where the wreck will occur, but for if you're trying to avoid it, you have so many cars behind you that can run in the back of you and force you into the wreck. If you're riding towards the back of it, it gives you a little bit more time.
Well, your reaction is to get on the brakes hard immediately and get slowed down, but there's been so many wrecks happen because the car in front gets slowed down and the one behind doesn't know it's there and gets run over.
We referenced that we're under the red flag. Part of that is cleaning up all the debris from this big incident, but they also had to do some repair, as you can see here, to the safer barrier. AMR safety team is on it. We're back to Talladega in a moment.
Ever wonder how NASCAR Cup Series playoffs work? Let Gazoo Racing break it down for you. NASCAR is a bracket system with eliminations at 16, 12, 8, and 4. how to advance, win races, or survive the cut. Outlast the pack, finish first among the championship 4, and you're doing donuts in victory lane. And trust me, Toyota's ready for victory lane. Now you're up to speed. You in?
Slow down, honey.
Ah, a new driver. You'll need new insurance. Zebra compares over 100 insurance companies to find savings no one else can. Up to $400 a year.
Trevor!
Oh, look, it's my stop. The Zebra. We do the searching, you do the saving.
My name is Whitney Allen. I am a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd have to use life insurance. With Ethos, it is so fast and easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage.
Check your price today at ethos.com.
What if I told you that one of the best things you can do to improve the look and performance of your car can be done for under $20 and in less than 30 minutes?
Fix your cloudy and weathered headlights with Cerakote's #1 best-selling ceramic headlight restoration kit in just 3 easy steps and without power tools. Just wipe, sand, and apply. It's that easy. Cerakote restores and protects. And for as long as you own your vehicle, it's guaranteed. You can trust Cerakote with over 60,000 5-star reviews. Don't wait until it's too late. Buy today for under $20.
Fish, are you certain that's a good idea?
Yeah, I'm just gonna zap it for 20 seconds.
Are you for imprint certain?
Certainty matters. So when you need the right high-quality promotional products, printed perfectly and guaranteed to arrive on time, that's the certainty of 4imprint. Wow your clients, nail your next event, or inspire your team by visiting 4imprint.com. 4imprint, for certain.
The newest show in the iconic TV series Law & Order Toronto, Criminal Intent, is on the CW. From the same team that brought you the original series, this time a new city on a new network. Law & Order Toronto, Criminal Intent. New episode Wednesday, 8/7 Central right here on...
And I'll find that hidden object game. They're talking about Ryan seat.
What can you tell us from the seat of your car on what happened?
Yeah, I just saw the 20 sideways, and then I was just along for the ride and just thought I was through it, and then the 00 just came right up in front of me, which I didn't even have time to brace, so it's like those are always a little harder when you don't know nothing's coming, but it looks like some of them guys were pushing a little heavy through the travel where the cars are already light. They've been pretty, free all day, and then just a little heavy on the pushing at lap 13.
Were you surprised to see such a big wreck so early?
Of course. It's lap 13. But no, in all, we had a fast Psyops Ford. We were making our way to the front like we needed to be and tried to stay out of the wrecks, but sums up our 25 season, just wrong place, wrong time. But just hats off to everybody that worked so hard with Haas and Psyops and Ford. Just sucks to end so early.
Gotta agree with Ryan there. It's been a tough season for them. It seems like anything that could go wrong has gone wrong at times for that race team. But I agree with him on the fact that, lap 13, you're not expecting a lot of pushing through the travel. It's just too dangerous. The cars are too on edge. It's something you see late in stage 3 or the end of a stage in terms of going for the points at that point in time, because the cars are just so hard to push through there. It's a massive risk that you take through there. And I think what caused a lot of this was Sheldon Creed playing it a little bit safe, trying not to get in the back bumper of Sawalich, and Jeb just didn't react quick enough to the 00 checking up.
We continue under red with that and have an opportunity to go over to the CW garage and say good afternoon to Carla Metz.
Yeah, holding things down here in the CW garage, Adam. A lot happening in this race so far, but a lot happening in the sport earlier this week. Some big headlines to get to in the series this week. One immediately impacting Viking Motorsports, who announced this week that Connor Mosack will drive the number 99 for the remaining 3 races of the season, replacing Matt DiBenedetto. And then an even bigger announcement, right? Justin Allgaier's crew chief, Jim Pullman, going to finish out the season with the number 7 before moving to RCR to become Kyle Busch's crew chief in the Cup Series. That's going to happen next season. Allgaier told me this week, he said, yes, of course, I was sad when we sat down to talk about it, but I told him, you'd be crazy not to take this. He said, I'm just happy to have been a part of his story, to showcase his abilities. He's worked so hard his whole career for this opportunity. And he added, Adam, I'd love nothing more than to end this time, his time at JRM, with another championship. So these next couple of weeks mean even more for that 17.
Yeah, Pullman told me this week, Carla, that he's looking forward to working with a couple of Hall of Famers next year at NASCAR's top level. But I just think of the residual impact in 2026 of all these changes at Junior Motorsports. 25 has been magnificent, but that organization is going to look totally different next season.
Definitely will, and I think for Jim Pullman, this is something he always wanted to do, is to race on Sundays and go have that opportunity. And it's a shame for Justin Allgaier, of course, with all they've done together. I feel like Justin really handpicked him and wanted him to be the crew chief of this 7 car. It led to finally getting that championship. That's going to be tough to replace, and a big risk for Pullman from some people, I think, in terms of going there to work with Kyle Busch, trying to get him back in victory lane. I'm of the opinion Kyle Busch still can get back to victory lane.
I tell you what, if you zoom in on that headset just a little bit, you see Jim Pullman's nickname right there. They call him Pooh Bear. Great guy. He's been around forever in the sport. He's worked on a lot of teams that I've been a part of. I remember when he was a tire changer. I think it's really cool, and we saw that, the Connor Zilic, American story. Same thing for these crew chiefs, right? I mean, he started out, he's raced a little bit, but he's worked his way up the ladder, and to get to go and work with a guy like Kyle Busch, good for him. I think everyone in general in the garage is thrilled for Jim.
Let's continue this theme and get a little 7 radio here.
That's probably why you have won most popular driver multiple times and hopefully win it again. I really, really want to make a comment right now about you going to the Cup side, but it's too soon. Even though I'm joking, I don't want you to think I'm mad at you.
I'm not trying to get the full context.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm missing something here. We missed the first part of that story, but those two guys have been friends for a long time, and I think Justin's very sincere when he says that he's happy for Jim being able to move on. It clearly puts Justin in a unique situation where you possibly, he won the championship last year. He's going to be in a position most likely to win it again this year, and he's going to have a different crew chief next year. So, yeah, it's a unique situation for Justin.
Of course, now the stream's offline, but I mean,
you think I'm mad at you?
We were going to need the minimum speed
caution,
and then fix that, so we weren't able to, but here we go. Oh, okay. 27. Oh, yeah.
What are you seeing? What are you yang?
Well, it looked like the 27 got in the back of the 00, shot him into the 20, and then all carnage broke loose. It's Talladega. I just hate we were 13 laps in the race and not 94. That's unfortunate. I want to thank Chuck Kuhn and all the guys from All South Electric, Chevy, everybody coming on board, Alliance Driveway Solutions. But we'll just have to go to get them at Martinsville.
Jeremy had a top 10 finish at Bristol in the playoff opener. Last few weeks, not as good, and today ending with disappointment as well. And this kind of a home game for them, not too far from their shop in Spartanburg, South Carolina.
Typically when we have a wreck like this, it calms everything down for just a little while. Everybody's like, okay, we've gotten the wreck out of the way, and things will calm down until we get to the end of the stage.
Well, it thins the field a little bit, too.
That helps a lot.
Which takes a lot of energy out of the pack, for sure. And I think it's a reality check for a lot of the drivers as well, who saw what happened there, that incident through the travel, to say, okay, maybe I don't need to push you there right now.
Red flag was officially 16 minutes, 19 seconds. Everything is back repaired where it needs to be. Pit road is open. And it looks like some drivers are going to come down here. Zillage, Taylor Gray, Dean Thompson, a few rookies. And you can pit here and then stay out at the end of the stage, make it to the end of stage 2. Let's follow up and get reports starting with Dylan.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, I'm a little surprised to see the 88 coming down pit road. They were very, very adamant just to try to take these first couple of stages. They get some stage points here, try to have things locked up for Phoenix just to do it on points, but they will come down here and change at least right side tires and go around to the left to make it 4 tires. Connor was pretty happy with his race car, said he felt like it was pretty good, so we'll see if they're able to maybe drive back through the field here in the final 7 or 8 laps or so and maybe score some stage points.
This might be a show, or yeah. you just hang at the back, take care of your race car, and then you cycle to the front when others pit at the end of the stage. We had a special visit from some of our favorite WWE NXT superstars recently who really got the full NASCAR experience, from taking part in a pit crew challenge to hitting the go-kart track with some racing tips from Sam Mayer and Cole Custer. Here it is.
How's it going, guys? Yeah, we're excited to show you guys around and see what we do around here.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough. I ain't gonna lie, I like this one. Yeah, this is pretty sweet.
I think it was Trick absolutely clobbering the barrier, but he's used to clobbering things.
Yeah, that was about the coolest thing I've done in a long time.
Brought to you by the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed.
Safe Light Repair, Safe Light Replace.
1 minute, it's smooth driving.
Come on.
The next, a crack. But at least you can get it fixed now and pay later in 4 interest-free payments at SafeLight.com.
Nice.
And SafeLight can come to you for free, anytime, anywhere, and do everything you need to get back on the road.
Safe Light Repair. Come on. Safe Light Replace.
Go to SafeLight.com and get it fixed now and pay later.
Limu Limo at your service. Here to help you save hundreds by customizing your car insurance with Liberty Mutual. Probably should have gone the other way.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 Liberty. Dinner time is going to be easy tonight. Wings to go for game time.
They say patience is a virtue. I say game's on in 15 minutes.
Which is why we got to go. It's to-go time. I'll go start the car.
As we mark 250 years of America, Wounded Warrior Project honors those who serve. They've given us their commitment and sacrifice. We're here to give them a brighter future. Our programs and services help warriors access VA benefits, improve mental and physical health, and thrive for a lifetime. They've given us their best. Join us in supporting them through the next 250 years of strength and resilience. Visit woundedwarriorproject.org/USA250.
This is how you make crispy Korean fried chicken.
Wi-Fi speeds as fast as home, even when you're on the go.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com.
Looking for a cable news network which respects all Americans? Then you have a new home with News Nation. See why News Nation is news for all Americans. To find News Nation on your screen, go to newsnationnow.com. I'm ready to go racing again. Red flag of nearly 17 minutes. And extended caution period here with this accident, but we're going to have 5 laps to go when we go green to end stage 1.
The current leader is that 48 of Nick Sanchez, that brown car there on the bottom. We didn't get really to tell this story a little bit, but where did he got to in lap 11, he was 16th. By lap 15, he was first. He gained 15 spots in 4 laps to get the lead of this race right as that wreck happened.
Well, be attentive when we go side by side, because a
green
lot
next time
happens,
by.
and you just don't miss it if you really pay attention. Among the things that happened a while
green,
ago,
it'll be
not just
5
the big
laps
crash,
to
but Nick
go.
Sanchez getting to the front. He's in control, 5 to go. RCR cars lined up outside, and Sam Mayer is taking his car to the garage, and it looks like they will be done for the afternoon.
One thing to watch for here is those front row, the front 2 rows, how they can get locked together. See the 2-car moving around a lot. It was not only him on Austin Hill, but Allgaier got into the back of him. Look at those cars dancing around as they're trying to get up to speed.
I mean, Jesse Love bouncing around, the same for Allgaier. Right behind him, outside lane, green and white. Toyota number 19, Eric Almirola.
Yeah, and as you see the 21 in the middle or on the outside kind of move away from Sanchez, it's because he had a little bit of a run and didn't want the side draft to slow him down. And look at those 3 hooked together Parker driving by them now. And what he could see the left of him was the 18 there of Williams Sawalich disconnect from the 48 of Nick Sanchez. And he knew the 2 on his bumper, they had the momentum down the back stretch. Just get away, don't add any side draft to them. They already accomplished disconnecting those 2 and now lead the pack.
I was curious what the 88
Hill
was
goes
going
with
to
him.
do after
Run for the inside. Sanchez trying to get wind again. Waffle moves to the outside to make it 3 wide. As the outside lane begins the 4. 4 to go.
Moved up when he saw that right there to get that momentum from the 88. Jesse Love and
Waffle getting blocked with 2 RCR boys.
Austin Hill has jumped to the race lead. It's the RCR duo out front, 3 wide behind them. Bottom lane, Sanchez. Middle is Allgaier. Outside, Quaffle. As we watch this racing 4 to go in the stage, here's Kim.
Now, Sheldon Creed released from the care center. Part of that incident ultimately taking you out of this race. What happened from your perspective?
Yeah, I got to see a replay, and I don't know. It just kind of looked like the 27 was pushing me to enter the trial and got me a little free, which really wasn't a big deal. And then, yeah, for whatever reason, he kind of shot up the track and got the 20 in the left rear and got me in the right rear. So, yeah, I don't know. Kind of the bad part about having super speedways in the playoffs is I think if you're way down, yeah, it gives you an opportunity to win and be in, but yeah, you just lose a lot of control of your destiny. So, yeah, just hate it for everyone at Haas Factory, Team Ford, Roush Yates Engines, Road Ranger, Pit Boss, all these, Haas Automation, everyone that works on this 00 car every week. Just, yeah, was hoping to have a good day. And, yeah, now we have to watch it from the infield. And
Love trying to make a move to the outside of his teammate.
No doubt, 8th DNF of the year. Must win next week at Martinsville. Coming to 2 to go, stage 1. Hill, Allgaier, Love out front.
Jesse Love just got so close to being turned there when he went up to try and cover Carson Quaffle in the top lane. This has been madness as they've all moved around trying to get around the 21. You mentioned the 48 was the leader at the restart. He's all the way to the back of this pack. Had no help on that bottom lane as the momentum died on that.
One of the things we mentioned at the start of the show was kind of the keys to winning, and I mentioned use these stage breaks to set yourself up for what might happen at the end of this race. If you're Austin Hill and you're leading, how are you going to defend? If you're Carson Quaffle, you see the 3rd row car back with the Bass Pro Shops.
Love pulls to the inside of Hill.
To get a win, how do you generate that
side
run?
driving down the corner. Quaffle with a run down as well.
Here, he got great momentum there off of turn 2, dove to the bottom of his teammate Austin Hill. Now Connor Zilich's buddy moves to the bottom to help him out.
And look at Zilich down pit road, pushing his way to the front. Taylor Gray, the driver in that same situation.
Starting dead last, he's up to 7th.
To go as we come by this time.
All right, last
interested to see if the outside row can generate any type of a run right here as you see Zilich and Allgaier pushing each other.
2 runs on the outside.
Opening stage, Hill in control,
not able to get the move done. Zilich up to 2nd.
Zilich right behind him, most recent winner of the draft. Love is there. Quaffle trying to make it happen in the outside lane. And so many playoff drivers in this mix that desperately need stage points.
Oh, Jesse Love
to the outside, trying to block Quaffle.
Coming on the outside. Is there any momentum up there? They're all stalling.
Might hurt him.
Each other
Connor
out.
Zilich up to now to 2nd.
How about
but can he get a run on the 21?
Makes the decision to come down pit road, restarts outside the top
Allgaier
15.
to third, Almirola in fourth. Allgaier moves to the outside.
Trying to win. It's RCR versus
momentum coming there as the momentum falls back on the inside.
Stage
Hill goes up the block.
Talladega. And remember where the start
Allgaier dropping to the inside.
a preview of what
So does
we'll
Hill.
see later. Through the
And Austin Hill wins stage 1.
Stage, number 21, Austin Hill.
Allgaier second, Love third, Zilich fourth, Almirola fifth.
Stage win.
Sixth is Sammy Smith, seventh Blaine Perkins, eighth Dean Thompson, ninth Carson Quapple, 10th William Sawallick.
Stage points. Zilich in the top 5 and the same.
And that's stage 1. right. Williams, Love, Zilich, Gray, Hill, Honeyman, Sanchez, Allgaier, Ware, Carson Ware, and Quapple, your top 10 after pit stops. Just waiting. All right, we're back. Oh, just still going over the wreck. I mean, how long has it been? At least almost a half hour, at least 20 minutes. Sam Mayer in the
To this one, we talked about that earlier, but yeah, just a bummer that we get to kind of sit back and watch the points kind of just go away from us, but just really proud, and I know that we can go lay a heater down in Martinsville and be just fine.
That's Sam Mayer, like he said, was very excited for this race until ultimately being taken out.
Well, we talk about that DVP, damaged vehicle policy. You get 7 minutes to work on your car once you've been involved in a crash on track, and then you get a lap to go. You go back out. You got to meet minimum speed, and if you can't get your car repaired, you're done for the day, and that's the situation for them. So that's what he's talking about there. We look at the standings now as they run at the end of the stage, and a huge change, not just at the top and the advantage for Zilich, which was big anyway, but for all of those drivers right around the cut line based on where they were entering this race. Carson Kvapil came in below the cut. He's now +3.
That move you did where you jumped up in front of the 88, that was really good. Doing those kind of things, just trying to make something happen instead of sitting there not knowing what to do. That was a good move. But later, with like 2 laps to go, there weren't enough numbers up there, I guess, to do much at the end like that. 10-4.
So I've got to agree with Dale Earnhardt Jr., their team owner of the one car. We were talking about it in break with the one where he moved up to go to cover that top lane when there was only 2 or 3 cars. There wasn't enough momentum. It lost him a top 5 position coming in that stage to falling just to 9th, basically. Kim?
Yeah, and I talked to Carson about Junior being on the box. He said, we're kind of a bunch of misfits on this team. For some reason, it keeps everything running smoothly having him on the box. And he actually said he likes when Junior occasionally chimes in on the radio.
Some of these cars you see up front stayed out at the end of the stage because they had pitted under that caution.
All right, green.
So the front row, Dean Thompson, Kyle Sieg, big push outside.
Underdogs up front, Dean Thompson holding on in front of Jesse
Love. And here
Kyle
he comes.
Sieg,
And I think you're going to see Jesse Love not be very patient right here, want to get back to the lead. He's got Dean Thompson. You see they're locked together. They're going to drive away a little bit. He gets off of him right there. The group behind him now is going to have a big run.
Holding up the inside
Jesse's going to pull up
Where's
and block right
go?
here. Already to the outside.
Pull out for too long, and the 2 is going to go past him.
Did get credit for leading a few laps there under caution after staying out. Second time he's led this year. Had a great outing earlier in the campaign at Rockingham. And speaking of Rockingham, the guy that crossed the finish line first there before being DQ'd, Jesse Love, he's once again in charge at Talladega.
What about Taylor Gray? Started last, had an issue with the transmission in qualifying, didn't get to make a lap. It broke on his out lap, started at the back of the field after they got the car fixed. See him running right there behind Connor Zilich in 3rd place right now. And this is what Jesse Love wants you to see. Look at all the single file that's going on. They've transitioned to the top of the track, and fans always ask, why do you guys do that? It's never planned. It's just kind of circumstantial. It's the way it works out. But after the chaos we had in stage 1, you're totally content right now with moving to the top and riding around for a few laps. And some of what caused this really early on is with some of those cars that stayed out, it really broke up the front of the field there. So they all navigated the top, and Jesse Love did a great job of just pushing out Dean Thompson.
Connor Zilich going to the inside on Love.
Austin Hill almost gets tricked.
But now he's on his own.
He can clear the 2. I don't think that's going to be possible.
88 clears. Oh, he cleared. Jesse Love. What a move for the lead at Talladega.
Trading spots at Talladega. You got to love it. This is a little rivalry building between these two.
Well, the only reason that works is if you have a little bit of a run, the distance around the bottom is so much shorter. But you got to time it out right. It's got to be where you have the momentum on entry and then be able to slide up in front of the car. And Connor's in a great position leading, but he's got 2 of the best right behind him who are not going to want to leave him out front. And the thing he's going to have to protect against is the 21 and the 2 basically doing the same move to him, but together there'll be no way to fight it. Almost impossible to react to quick enough. So that's what he'll be watching for in his mirror. As they do that exact thing and drop to the bottom, forcing him to stay up top, and now the 2 RCR cars are leading the bottom lane.
Hey, some drivers we got to pay off. You mentioned Taylor Gray, starts in the back, has worked his way to the top 5. Blaine Perkins in the top 10 as well. At least he was last time around, scored 12 at this point. But he's another driver
Sammy
that started
Smith worked
in
his
the
way to
rear
the front,
and
trying to get, did he get around Sanchez? Not yet. Well, Sanchez looks like he might be, no, he's not. People go around Sanchez, Sammy Smith, and the CZ. But now it's semi-free wide.
Sammy Smith got so lucky right there.
Blocking the middle. He's in the lead right now. Nick Sanchez going to the inside.
Unfortunately, a bunch of guys came down to help him, and he's in a good position, but that could have been disastrous for him.
Look at Daniel Dye, fourth car in line, bottom lane. Last time around, he was 12th. Now he's working on a spot inside the top 5. He is there.
48 super fast. We've seen him go to the back, and now you look, he's back up into second place right now. He's made some good decisions, has worked his way all the way back to the front.
And look what's happened to Austin Hill when you get in the wrong lane up top right there. Didn't have the help. He's fallen all the way to the backside of the top 10 here from fighting for the lead just a lap ago. That's how quickly things can happen, not in your favor if you don't choose the right lane and have the right help.
Fruitful day for Sammy Smith, who continues in the top 5. Came in minus 24, plus 20 right now for the man that won here at Talladega last fall. Mayer comes in above the cut line. He's now fallen below, and Quattle's lost a lot of positions since the restart. He's now 23 below that cut line as they run almost halfway home stage 2.
Top is getting super organized, but the guys on the bottom aren't content, and they're not just going to ride right here. You see
bottom.
How much shorter you see Sammy Smith
bottom,
slide up from the Sanchez there.
Trying it around. Love goes with him.
The two car those doing an exceptional job. He's
holding
the,
on
he's
the bottom. Sammy
Smith
at
both lanes,
the top.
lose the lead, or if he does, only falls back a position
on the
or
bottom.
two, and then is able to get right back to the front.
Let's give some love to Christian Eckes, blue and yellow, number 16 in the low lane, solid in qualifying today, made the second round. He has not finished in the top 10 all season long in the draft, but that team has speed. Colleague has got a great history, especially here at Talladega, and this kid from New York showing what he's got side by side for second.
And I'm loving this, how there's no dominant lane. It seems like no one's content to ride up there. They just want to try and find a way to the front. The bottom lane can get the momentum to go towards the front. The top lane sometimes controls, but then the bottom lane forms up and has his chances. Jesse Love drops down to protect there against Christian Eckes. Felt like the momentum was coming there. Now Eckes to the top.
And the one thing that I would do if I'm leading this is I wouldn't run
out
right now, all the way around the top. I would almost run the middle and then kind of guard to my outside, because you cut a lot of the distance off, and then when those guys go to the very bottom, they're not able to cut so much off that they can slide up in front of you.
That early caution hasn't changed the level of intensity here at Talladega for the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
We're looking on Mobile One leaderboard. Love goes down the block.
He's led
Eckes
17
moves to the top.
Eckes, Smith, Allgaier, Zilich there as well.
Okay. Now I think up. All right, Allgaier is now the leader, and for two wide ahead of Eckes and Love. we're back.
And out of harm's way. And
is that Austin Hill at the bottom?
Jamie, you and I know this. Everyone would always say, if you don't like the weather
He's
here, just wait. It'll
leading the inside or the middle.
The race out front at Talladega. If you don't like the leader, just wait. It's going to change right now. Justin Allgaier, the man.
I was going to say, at the front of this field, there's no cruising. And there is so much movement happening constantly, lap by lap. Cars are going from the front to the back as you see Austin Hill get to the back of Justin Allgaier there at the front. Nick Sanchez is back into the top 3. I think it was about a lap ago. He was probably 10th. He keeps going back to front so often.
The one thing that I like to see Allgaier doing, though, is he's not committed to run that really top lane. And right before he went to break, I mentioned maybe kind of run the middle. Well, he's run the middle and the bottom, and he's been able to protect the outside and not, there's trouble for Taylor Gray. We talked about the transmission issue.
Not in the playoffs anymore, so no more heartbreak.
They've got something else wrong here as he's coasting back. Let's listen to what he has to say.
Blowing up.
It might be a transmission, drive cap, I don't know. I think the pile.
Yeah, the back bumper there had a lot of fluid on it. It was real dark, which is probably an indication of some fluid coming out of that race car. So obviously mechanical issues continue for the 54 this weekend. Not been their weekend.
Ironically enough, it was the other rookie at Joe Gibbs Racing that had a mechanical problem that took him out here in the springtime, William Sawalich. Sawalich started front row today, currently 14th. Battle at the front continues to be between two veterans. Justin Allgaier leading Austin Hill. And as we come back to the start-finish line, this
7
time,
to go.
7 laps to go.
Parker, do you think the RCR cars are a little more vulnerable than what we've seen in the past? Like, I feel like in the past, it's just constantly they lead the whole race. We've seen a lot of different cars up front today.
And your indication of that is look where Jesse Love is. He's at the
got shuffled.
He's got shuffled all the way back. We've seen that happen to Austin Hill a couple times. If you don't choose the right lane, it just looks like the runs are so massive today. We talked about this in the pre-race show. Austin Hill mentioned it. Every super speedway race is different. They have their own personality. For whatever reason, they react differently. As Eric Almirola throws it to the middle there.
Trying to way up high to block.
For that reason, you have
Austin
to
Hill,
evaluate
Sammy
it
Smith,
on
move
the
down
day.
the
This one is
inside.
showing
Allgaier
huge
prefers the
runs
block
and
down there
ability
too.
for everyone to
3
make
wide,
passes
back in the
right.
pack for
Allgaier does a
4th
tremendous
position.
job. He's running that low line when he
Between
sees the run
Quapo,
come.
Almirola,
On
and
the
Sanchez.
outside, he'll
Sanchez
move
looks
up
back.
and slide in front
Almirola
of
now
him.
up to the
He's able
4th
to get back down.
position.
He's done an incredible job of being able to maintain
Jesse Love
that
is
track
mired
position
back
better
in the
than
pack,
I feel like
almost
we've seen
outside the top
anybody
10.
at this stage in the race.
4 wide, almost back
6 to
there.
go on the stage.
Ah, we got another.
Leland Honeyman.
Leland Honeyman. Oh, Mosak, Sawalich,
collected as well.
and Kyle C.
Caution of the day
No,
comes
Dean
out,
Thompson.
6 laps to go. Stage
That might be the end of the
2.
stage.
And I mentioned William Sawalich, and there you see his race car.
Huge impact for Mosak right there. You saw him get turned and slide up head on into the wall.
Dean Thompson.
Big hit for Thompson as well.
It's such a horrible feeling.
Is Zilich in it?
When you're in Mosak's position there, when you get turned up in front of the field, up the racetrack, a little damage there for Connor Zilich as well. The right front sort of pushed
That
in.
could
They
end
might
the
be able
top
to be able to
five
push
he's
that
had
at least
this
off the
race.
tire. But your eyes went directly to it, Adam Myers as well.
Right front on Honeyman.
You hear the right front down there for Connor Zilich. That 4 wide was so tight, and they weren't really in step. They were all sort of disjointed a little bit, and that's usually an indication of where you're going to see some bumper tag, just like we saw here.
Daniel Dye is right behind Jeff Burton. It almost looks like Daniel Dye moved up a little bit, and Harrison Burton was there, and he didn't know it.
Zilich in there?
Leland Honeyman, the 70 there. That was the one right there behind Jeff Burton. But yeah, you're right. It's exactly that. It's when you're sort of not following the same lanes.
And look, Jesse Love, outside lane. Look how close this is. He had gotten shuffled out.
Oh, so
and
that could've
right
been a
there,
lot
he
worse.
barely gets through. And, you know,
He's on the
Harrison
inside of
Burton,
Honeyman.
who was involved in that first crash earlier today, they repaired the damage, and he, too, is able to avoid this.
So we get another look at it here. Yeah, you see the 70 there. Leland Honeyman just gets tagged maybe there by Connor Mosak a little bit, but the hardest part is when those cars aren't perfectly lined up and you're overlapping each other a little bit. It just is very confusing and you get disjointed from the wheel. The spotter can't really tell you what's happening. You end up with a result like this.
6 cars involved as we work our way toward the end of stage 2. Under caution for a third time.
It's a new dawn. It's a new day. It's a new
life for me. Another red flag. We have one. Darkness time is 6:55 p.m. Eastern time. It's 3:20. Well, it's 5:25 right now. So we have 1.5 hours to get the last half of the race in. No, we're under red, so. Oh, wait, no, we're still under red. Who are they hauling away? I think that's Sawalich's car. Was it Hocevar in the stands?
And today in Talladega, Carson Hocevar signing autographs, taking pictures.
That's pretty sweet.
He's a man of the people. And now we do our playoff update brought to you by Bristol Myers Squibb. Allgaier leading this race, and, of course, we've got a long way to go, but if one of these playoff drivers wins today, it locks him into the championship 4. Connor Zilisch got a real good opportunity to leave here with a spot in the championship 4 on points. Jesse Love has helped himself, came in plus 20, is now plus 30. Look what Sammy Smith and Carson Kvapil have done to help themselves. Great, because they were involved in crashes, Mayer, Jones, and Creed really have put themselves behind the 8 ball with 1 race to go.
I think no doubt if you'd asked Sammy Smith, would you be okay leaving here 5 up on the cut line, coming in 24 down, he would have taken it.
I said coming in to the weekend.
Oh my gosh, look at that.
That you know, this is a must-win for those guys below the cut line, especially those bottom 3. But the fact that Talladega is on the schedule, you wouldn't make it a must-win, right? Just because things can change so quickly, and we're seeing that play out. Look at this, and this is the reason we're under red. You had the cleanup, you got to blow all this off, and we got a long way to go. Well, maybe not a long way to go. They're making some progress and should be back at it here pretty soon.
I found the beach at Talladega. We've used all of the oil dry in the state of Alabama, apparently.
Kim?
Yeah, and with us being in the midst of fall and sunset a little bit earlier than the rest of the year, especially when we race here in April, sun's starting to dip behind the front stretch grandstands, and drivers being made aware of a possible situation if we were to get another extended red flag. Here was the 21's radio transmission.
Reminding you, 6 p.m. is the cutoff for the race. We're obviously at 4:30, but this is our second red flag.
All right.
So just reminding you of it, that's all.
And you heard him say 6 p.m. the cutoff for the race. We did have Dylan verify via a weather app here during commercial break that sunset here at the Speedway is 6:06 p.m.
So 6 o'clock, as you heard there, is the drop dead time. That's 6 Central, 7 Eastern. And how this will work if we get to that point, once we hit 7 Eastern, 6 local there at the track, we will have 2 laps to go the next time around. And so all these teams are aware of this, and that way that everybody's got a fair opportunity. Instead of just running to an unknown time, NASCAR, anytime they feel like darkness can be a part of the equation, will set this time, let all the teams know. Hopefully we're okay. Still got 90 minutes, and we're showing 49 laps to go, and we're going to cycle through this stage and all of that. But as Kim pointed out, 2 red flags today, we get another one, and we could be up against it.
And it's good to point out to your driver that that's a possibility, that is the case, so that if you run into that, say, under green flag, and if you hadn't told them for the first time, say, hey, the race is about to end 2 laps, 2 laps because of darkness, and you haven't told them that, they might say, what are you talking about, right? And obviously it changes the intensity level, the decisions you're going to make, and that sort of thing. So it's just good to keep your driver up to date on that situation. From in the car, we don't have any sort of understanding of time. It all feels pretty short at times, and then under these red flags, it feels very long, but you don't exactly know what time of day it is, so it's good to get that update.
Big one here today for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Big one tomorrow for the Cup cars. It'll happen on NBC.
You do not control your fate, whether you're in the front, middle, or the back. There's no safe place.
It can literally change in a snap of a finger.
Hurt, might be on fire.
Yeah, we're done. Talladega is going to have us all nervous.
Horse on, guys. This is honestly comical.
You can't avoid the chaos.
Let's go, baby. Yeah! Did we get it? Yeah, move there. We got it. Let's go, man!
Here comes Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Holy cow, boys. Holy cow. Nice work, dude.
Can't win the championship at Talladega, but you sure can lose it.
Coverage begins tomorrow, NBC 1:30 Eastern Time. Michael McDowell won the pole earlier today. Chase Briscoe, Christopher Bell, Ryan Blaney, other playoff drivers that will start inside the top 10. Second red flag has now been lifted. 10 minutes, 35 seconds. The clock there. They continue the work now on the 88. Keep this in mind. He's got that streak going. 18 consecutive top 5 finishes. So something we'll monitor as they repair the damage for Connor Zilisch, who's got that huge advantage over the playoff cut line. And we'll open pit road and see if anyone chooses to come down here, if they stay on track and chase the points as we anticipate the green flag late in this stage. Eckes, Harrison Burton, Josh Williams, Daniel Dye, all making pit stops here. What about that 16, Dylan?
Yeah, it's been a really, really good day for these guys. Speaking with Christian before the race, he said
like everybody, if we can just stay out of this mess, I feel like we've got a really good race car, and they've proven that to be the case. His only feedback has just been that he was a little bit free earlier in the race. They'll go around here and change right side tires, and it looks like they may go around and make it a 4-tire and change and 1 can of fuel for the 16.
Oh, man, that is fuel in it. Wow. The cap on the fuel can there
Lots
came
of
out. You
fuel.
saw the crew member pick it up
the
there.
16 pit, I
That
think.
basically is what engages. You saw it missing from the fuel can to the left. Basically, that fell out and just had fuel go everywhere. So the fueler's connected to the car right now. That's showing it, but you see that piece comes out. That's not from the car. That's from the fuel can itself.
That's the valve cap.
Yeah, the valve cap, exactly. It popped out, and that obviously meant all the fuel rushed out that was still in the can.
He burned out right there. It didn't hit a lug nut and ignite all that, because that was 5-6 gallons of fuel that ran out. I don't think I've ever seen that happen before.
Super scary.
But here's what I would say. You know, if you pit here, your thought process probably is you stay out at the end of the stage and you run till the end of the race.
Yep.
And so you want to make sure you get it full, because you are stretching that fuel limit here as far as how much you put in the tank and what you have to run to the end of the event. So something to monitor with that 16 team and Christian Eckes as we head towards the checkered flag.
And it's a great point, because his indication to take that out, as you saw, was sort of as the fuel starts to rush back up. But do you know if that can was really filling or not? So we'll have to see what they decide to do there in the 16.
We're showing 26 cars on the lead lap. 8 of those made pit stops. Allgaier is the race leader. Smith, Hill, Almirola, Quapple, the top 5. And when we come around this time, we'll do the choose. So we do the choose with 3 to go. We'll have a 2-lap shootout to end our second stage of the day. 2-lap shootout reminds me of overtime at the end of the race. So many times we go to overtime at Talladega. So what we're going to see here is a good preview for us and a good opportunity for the teams to get in their mind what to anticipate. Riding with Jesse Love, wheeling onboard camera. Pole sitter has led 19 laps today and 8th prior to the choose here.
You see that damage there for Jeb Burton ahead of him on the left rear. This is one of those races when you've had big wrecks like this. You have cars that are running around with different amounts of damage. One of the things you'll do when you're choosing here is choosing ahead of you, looking at who has damage. Do I want to push that car? Can they,
a good bumper or not?
Can they take a push?
Right.
Am I going to get attached to that
the junk?
Yeah, the junk on the tape, the bear bond on the back. Like, you're asking yourself all those questions, and there's so many unknowns as you go later in super speedway races like this that have massive crashes, and you have so many damaged cars out there.
Allgaier, the control car, takes the outside lane. I'm wondering if this isn't a team thing, because if he slides down, you'd have 3 junior motorsports cars lined up in that low lane after we get back to the green flag.
So I guess
Eric Almirola up there in the top 5 as well, Dylan.
Yeah, and then we'll give you a quick Toyota driver update on the only Toyota car left in the field that still has a legitimate shot to win this race today, and that is Eric Almirola. You know, you guys talked earlier about maybe not thinking the RCR cars were quite as strong as they've been in years past. I think some of that is due to some of the gains of the other manufacturers in the engine department, namely the Joe Gibbs Racing Group. Spoke with Eric earlier today, and he was very, very complimentary of all the work that has gone on back at the shops in North Carolina to get these Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota engines up to snuff on these super speedways. That helped them in qualifying across the board, and obviously a faster engine helps you in the race too. So Almirola doing a nice job inside the top 5.
Almirola, the last driver to win here in a Ford, did it in 2017. Toyota hasn't won here since 2014. And if he wins it at Toyota today, he's going to have to do it with no drafting help from his partners. As Dylan said, just no other Toyotas out there.
Talk about the sun setting. It's obviously going to be blind right there in that section of the racetrack off turn 4.
Race to stop suicide onboard camera with Daniel Dye. He's shown 14th, and one of those drivers that just made a pit stop. Christian Eckes made a pit stop. We talked about the fueling problem there. It's 13th as we get ready for the restart. 2 to go. Front row, Junior Motorsports. Control car outside is Allgaier. Inside, Sammy Smith. Quapple is there.
Here we go. Green. 2 laps to go in stage 2. About an hour and 20 to darkness.
It's time again at Talladega.
Green.
Both lanes really well connected the first 2 rows. Really good pushes because you don't see the cars moving around a lot, so these are locked together, secure. They'll be able to stay locked together until they get to the backstretch, and the NASCAR is going to expect.
No more
The car behind him lift a little bit and just get off the bumper for a second. That outside lane though still attached.
Oh, he's down track now.
That's the second time we've seen that. That outside lane is able to disconnect the bottom lane by side.
Allgaier's the leader. Hill's behind him. Timmy Smith to the inside.
To his teammate there, the aid of Sammy Smith. That gives the outside the momentum. Justin Allgaier to the lead, and Austin Hill fighting for second.
It really disjointed on that restart. You saw the front two rows get apart, and then Carson was actually on the inside and moved up
There's only
into
about
the outside
12
row.
cars
That
in it.
bottom lane right now looks helpless, but Sanchez is getting a little bit of a run here. We know he's had one of the faster cars today. He's been able to make his way to the front.
Final lap, stage 2. Allgaier out
Hill
front.
to the outside.
Coming to his outside. Quapple giving Hill a push. Side by side for the lead. Side by side. Back there for third. They're lined up side by side really through the top 10 here.
Quapple had a good amount of momentum there on the top side. To the outside of his teammate. He's going to get to the back bumper of the 21 with no one behind them. So few cars in this lead pack after all these crashes.
Eckes made the pit stop. He's back in the top 10.
Sanchez around the top 5.
Sanchez
Timmy
making a
Smith
move
falling
in the
back.
bottom lane.
Quapple with the run
Austin
on the
Hill
outside.
controlling this
Where will
thing.
Hill go?
Won the opening stage. Won here in the
Those
spring.
block
Trying
the
to get the
bottom.
sweep.
Where Allgaier
Bottom
is.
had quite a bit of
Quapple's
momentum
not close
right there.
enough.
They finally got all organized, but Austin Hill has just done an incredible job once again of
And
putting
Austin
himself in
Hill
the right
around the
position.
tri-oval
And when they're side by
will win
side behind
stage
you,
2.
they can't make a move. Get out the broom. Sweep
All right.
Austin Hill.
Allgaier
He
second.
takes stage
Quapple
1
third.
and
Eckes
stage
fourth.
2.
Sanchez fifth.
8 stage wins this year for driver 21.
Love 6th.
And the
Almirola
second
7th.
time
Timmy
he
Smith
swept
8th.
stages
Daniel
here
Dye
at
9th. Jeff
Talladega.
Burton 10th.
Also did it back in 2022.
So Zillich had a tire rub, but I don't think he got lapped.
right here when we're all done in Talladega, Alabama.
What a day. I mean, beautiful outside.
You know, and I would say this, and we were talking about this during the break, just the lack of rhythm that this race has had because of the 2 red flags and, you know, the extended time that these guys have had to sit and wait and ride under caution. And now you go to the final stage, and it's only going to be right around 40 laps, right? And so that this is tough to adjust. And you guys talked about how few cars are still alive. That also is going to change the way you react in the draft. And with that, we retire another one. Ryan Ellis going to take off the helmet and be done for the day.
And what we loved so much in the first stage, at least in the first 10 or so laps, was the amount of action moving around. The run seemed really big, but what does that lead to? It leads to big wrecks because those runs are hard to sort of protect and maneuver, and so you end up a lot of cars wrecked, and now we have a lot less energy.
Progressive Pit Road is open, and you want to take care of your business here. Have that track position be in control as we begin the final stage. Daniel Dye stays out. Austin Hill and others coming in. Kim Coons up.
Yeah, top of your screen, he said, that was fun. Heck of a car. He said, I don't really need anything. I can get a little tight with the right front, but it's manageable. Right side tires only and fuel for the 21. Carson Quapple, no complaints on the handling. Right side tires also the call for that Chevrolet, Dylan.
Christian Eckes, you remember, pitted 6 laps ago. They're going to pit again, do a quick top off of fuel. This should cycle them closer to the front. Justin Allgaier, bottom of the screen, said that he loved his race car. Said he was a little bound up, but really happy with it overall. 4 tires and fuel for the 7.
You know, we speculated Eckes may pit the last time so that they don't have to pit here. Instead, they just come back, top off the fuel tank. He wins the race off pit road, so it nets out nicely for him. +3 as he wins the race off Progressive Pit Road.
Star, Amarola,
Hill, Quapple, Honeyman right behind him. Zillage back in. He's still on the lead lap.
When my doctor gave me Breztri for my COPD, things changed for me. Breztri.
Handling was a big deal here earlier this year. You see Allgaier right there, 5th row on the inside, the red number 7. See if he can get back to the front.
Go. Final stage underway, Talladega.
Carson Quapple's done a great job there linking the back bumper of Daniel Dye, and he did that on the last restart as well. Seems to be really good at making sure he gets that
stage or whatever, how much you can get through it. 40 laps is possible in the next hour.
Look at the 19 getting to the one's back bumper, and he push him back up there. They all kind of stalled each other out here on this restart. Sammy Smith jumped to the outside really early right there.
Big run for Jesse Love on the bottom.
Daniel Dye leading this race. 3 rookies out front, a couple of veterans behind him.
Sammy Smith's got no help out there.
When it's taken longer to get organized, because you mentioned it, the less cars being on the track, it's a little harder for all of it to get organized. It's going to take a couple of laps. We saw that the last time. It took 2 or 3 laps for everybody to figure out where they wanted to be. You see
Daniel Dye is current leader, 2 and 3 wide behind him. We got Eckes and Quappel behind him, Austin Hill in 4th.
The rest of the field does not want to see those 2 RCR cars get hooked up together. We know how fast they are.
Dig. Coming to you.
Jesse Love got to the outside of his teammate up there on the 3rd lane.
Look at Almirola shoving his way up the middle. Already won in this round. 2 wins in the playoffs for Almirola, who's going to the championship for thinking about the owner's title. Fresh off a victory at Las Vegas, number 19 back on point, and he's doing it by himself. No other Toyotas out there to help him in the draft.
See what Eric can do to manage these. You see behind them, there's really not one lane that's super organized. There's a gap between all those guys. I like Sammy Smith in the 8 and Jesse Love in the 2 on the outside. Both those cars have been fast all day long. Eckes leading that group. He's going to get to the outside of Eric. I think Eric's content with the 21 behind him, though. He could have moved up in front of Eckes. He knows how fast Austin is. The 48 of Sanchez behind. Look at the run they're going to have
right here.
They're hooked up.
Wow, and dancing.
What a run.
How about 4 rookies in the top 10? And one of them's not named Connor Zilisch. I mean, this car
is in 15,
so deep, and several
might be
of
able
them
to get it back
here.
going to the
See a lot of migration to the top. I think Eric's going to kind of run the top down the straightaways, the middle through the corners. They want this to get single file so everybody can relax just a little bit. What we've seen earlier in the race that nobody's been content riding like that.
And if you're in Jesse Love's position, as Daniel Dye has lost his help here on the bottom, you're trying to sort of understand where's the energy going to come from with all these different cars now up front.
He's all the way to
not
the
as
back.
many as the competitive cars we had
behind him, and
earlier
behind
in the
Hill
race. You're not
is
exactly
Eckes to the
sure
side is Sanchez.
Who can push you? Who can generate the energy behind you to make some passes and move forward? So it makes it sort of a guessing game through these first few laps of this stage to understand exactly who's fast, who has too much damage, and assessing that.
Sanchez now side by side with Hill.
Cousins working together in that bottom lane. Jeb Burton, Harrison
in the wreck earlier.
First crash inside of 10 laps to go stage 1, and they are back in the top 10.
Well, Harrison's 4th, Jeb 6th. Damn.
The 2 of Jesse Love and Sammy Smith, I see them really connecting on the straightaways. You can see the back of the cars moving around, and that's when there's connection. You see the 8 gets back to his rear bumper right here. I think that's Honeyman behind the 8. Those guys trying to get a push, trying to move your whole row forward.
When you guys talk about how every race here takes on its own personality and some faces in the top 10 you don't always see there, so who do you trust? Who do you work with? Who do you hang out? There's a whole lot to manage for all these drivers and the spotters that are calling the shots for.
falling back to the middle.
By Jesse Love, got to the outside of Christian Eckes. He gets stuck in the middle.
Love
Jesse
now
gets
behind
the
his
back end
teammate,
of his
Austin
teammate
Hill.
there.
Almirola holds the bottom, leaves
Christian
the
Eckes
top
is going to
open
go back this
for the
pack.
RCR bros. Love having it catch up.
Look at that push
checked up
down
a bit.
low. Jeb Burton
So
shoving
he's going to lose
Harrison.
several spots. Sanchez and
the big benefactor of
the
Love
Blaine
and Sammy
Perkins
Smith
filling the
getting
gap.
together because they both had to check up, lost their momentum. Jeb was able to slide up and puts himself in another great position towards the end of this.
Heading toward 30 laps to go.
Got to protect the top right here if you're Jeb Burton. Jesse Love hung Eckes out the last time. That's where that momentum is coming from. Did you see Hill gets to the inside of Eric Almirola? Eric's best friend's going to be outside row.
Yeah, man, it's Harrison Burton. You got a Ford and a Toyota trying to work together, and Burton just goes all the way back to the bottom.
Harrison Burton trying to make it 3 wide with Hill and Almirola to the lead. Harrison Burton with cousin Jeb right behind. It's a Burton 1-2.
Race cars have found their way to the point at Talladega.
Last time the Burton Bros finished 1-2. I have no idea when. I believe it was in 1999.
Right there, the 25 did not want to push the 21. He dove to the bottom. The 27 and Jeff Burton, that orange car.
That was Harrison and Jeff. No, that was Jeff and Ward. I think at Darlington.
Jeff Burton was another one of those cars that took 4 tires like Justin Allgaier. You see, as this run goes on, his
Harrison's in the middle.
Going to become more and more important as they hang the 25 out right there.
Jeb slides up in front of his cousin in that middle lane, controlling the bottom lane now. 31, Blaine Perkins.
It's just incredible to me. Every time we talk about Jesse Love or Austin Hill getting hung out, just wait 30 seconds. Because they cycle
500 was the last 99 was the last time there was a Burton 1-2.
Sanchez right here talked about how fast his car has been all day long.
Allgaier, the reigning champ, got his 300th career top 10 last weekend at Las Vegas. All the things he's done in his career, he's never pulled into victory lane at Talladega. Been close so many times. He leads
not really
Austin
a
Hill
restrictor plate
right now.
winner. He's won at Daytona
What Allgaier did as good a job as anybody we've seen at being able to control the lane.
Won at New Atlanta.
Jesse Love trying to do it all by himself right there. That's going to be hard when they get to the straightaway. Right here, the momentum is going to be on the outside as he tries to side draft a little bit.
I thought he would be a little bit more patient to wait to be able to do that with his teammate there, the 21 Austin Hill. Those two have done that in the past where they drop down together, leaving the leader a sitting duck. As Austin
Hill to the inside with a big run. Can he take the lead? He will.
He got so far out front, and then the 19 gave the 21 a huge push right there.
And this is what you don't want to see if you're the competition. RCR cars controlling both lanes. Outside Austin Hill, inside Jesse Love. Coming back, we'll see 31 laps to go. We're finding a rhythm, and I feel like a fantastic finish is on the road.
Attention law enforcement.
No, thank you for that ad, please. Now it's single file. Great. We're back.
Fans watch forever. 28 laps to go. Talladega Superspeedway. It's the NASCAR Xfinity Series on CW. Race 2, round of 8. Playoff driver wins. They're going to run for a championship in Phoenix. And we got a few of them in the mix, including our reigning champ, Justin Allgaier, who rides second behind Austin Hill.
Mentally, this is so hard because you have to be patient. You're wanting your spotter to count you down, how many laps left. Depending on which position you're in, kind of determines how late you can go. The farther back you are, the earlier you want to go. Every driver is trying to get their spotters to go talk to another driver of, can we work together? Yep. You just want one or two guys to pull down to open up an opportunity.
Nick Sanchez was impatient there, trying to get down and start to force a bottom lane to happen. And the way, you get in this position, you have two options. It's island hopping, which is essentially going one by one and dragging a car back and going to the bottom and sliding up in front of them, or trying to do what Nick Sanchez is doing, which is hoping some others will come down with you and form a bottom line.
Hope's a terrible plan. It's a terrible plan. Yeah, it's a bad strategy. Look, if you see the drivers in the top 10 and you say, man, these guys aren't always here. I mean, Josh Williams would be one of those that doesn't have a bunch of top 10s, but he does have our Xfinity fastest lap today. And when you see the names on the board, this is what the graph produces. It's a great equalizer. And that's why you can see upsets at this place. If you're in it, you can win it.
And for these lesser-funded teams and these races that have large wrecks, if you can stay out of them and just keep running, these can be really big days like this that you start to see for Josh Williams. This is the opportunity races that they look forward to throughout a season. Lots of wrecks, taking out a lot of the front cars, the most competitive cars, highly funded cars, and now you have this opportunity to be up here at the front. And who knows what happens here with everything that can occur here in the next 26 laps.
You can hear Jeff Burton as we ride on board right here. You hear him kind of roll out of the throttle. It looks like everybody's just running flat out around the top, but you're not, because it surges. As he gets towards the end of the straightaway, he'll surge up on that car, and as if he lags back and lets the car behind him get closer, it then pushes him forward. So a lot of throttle manipulation, and Parker talked about island hopping. You can't leave too big a gap to the car in front of you, or the car behind will do that, and it'll cost you a position.
Wanted to do an update from that crash that we had there at the end of stage 2. William Sawalich involved, had a hard hit into the wall. He is awake and alert, but they have transported him to a local hospital for further evaluation, so we wish him all the best.
Who got transported?
25 laps to go.
And one of the things that Austin Hill will historically do when he's leading these lanes like this, he's actually riding sometimes at part throttle, 50% throttle, even as low as 25% throttle, because he doesn't want to get pushed too far out and have a chance where Justin Allgaier can get a big run. And what does that do? It causes an accordion effect through the whole pack here. As you see, the two catches at 19. Right there. Yeah. Well, as he'll catch 19, it causes an accordion effect constantly through the field, which is where you might see a mistake happen. So let's take a listen to the Choose Radio.
Almost all single file now behind. I'll let you know when they start to back off. I want to be the first one to lead the bottom. I know you do. I know the way you're built.
Everybody does, buddy. Wants to be the first to open the But you got to take the risk of being the first to go down there to make that happen, or try and catch it if it happens behind you and make react accordingly.
And knowing that he wants to do that, if you're behind Jesse Love, you might move down early knowing you're going to have another car in front of you. Even though you can't be the first, you need to get 4 or 5 to go with you and get some momentum built up down there.
3 of the 5 drafting races this year, won by Richard Childress Racing. Both their cars in the top 5 here. Austin Hill out front, 24 laps to go.
Okay, let's rewind. A freak hailstorm hit, cracking this group's windshield and causing the night to take an unexpected turn. Inside, they were greeted by Edna's warm welcome, a blank stare, be cool guys, and a TV showing football that no one wanted to change, ever. So they pulled out the BetMGM app and put together a live parlay. But what would the fourth leg be? Bingo. New York. Soon the whole bar was pulling for that parlay. Make it a place you'll never forget. BetMGM Sportsbook. Make it legendary.
You can run the perfect race.
Denny Hamlin leading the pack on the final lap.
And then, boom.
Oh, Hamlin's hit. Hamlin is out of it.
That's true in racing and life. When debt hits hard, National Debt Relief helps you take control, so you can pay less than you owe in less time than you think. When life wrecks your finances, National Debt Relief helps you get back on track. Visit nationaldebtrelief.com to get started today.
Thanks for calling Consumer Cellular, ranked #1 in network coverage and customer satisfaction.
Hi, my friend Linda has you guys and gets way better coverage than I do.
Sounds like Linda has you beat.
Not at bowling.
You're breaking up a little.
Are you really ranked #1 in coverage?
Yep, and plans start at just $20.
Oh, we could afford lessons for Linda. You're embarrassing yourself. At least my phone works.
Switch to the carrier ranked #1 in network coverage satisfaction. Call or visit Consumer Cellular today.
It's the dog park with all the dogs there. And the people you see that you don't really know because it's the dog park. It's the dog park.
Brought to you by Progressive Pet Insurance.
What are you eating? What are you eating? Open your mouth. Open your mouth.
It's the dog park.
Protect your pet from injury and illness with Progressive Pet Insurance. Attention law enforcement. You took an oath to protect and serve. To keep your family, your neighborhood safe. But in too many cities, dangerous illegals walk free as police are forced to stand down. Join ICE and help us catch the worst of the worst. Drug traffickers, gang...
Pass. Funny enough, I think today is the No Kings protest that's been... So... Make that with what you will.
The best spot for
20 laps to go. It's still single file, or mostly single file.
So not too.
Oh, is it Zilch with the wall? So he's a lap, 2 laps down. Yeah, he's up in his top 5 today. Has happened at some point. Might as well be Talladega.
And not his day today. Look at Sammy Smith out of line trying to make it happen.
Ian Christian Eckes finally joined Nick Sanchez, who had been the lone soldier on the bottom for a while here. And the reason they were gaining so much is the 21 has been backing up this top line. There goes Jesse Love
going down
he said
there
he wanted to lead
to that bottom lane.
He is now leading the bottom line. Yeah, I was saying he'll
Ooh,
get
and
back
Love
up in line right
abandons
here.
them. So now we have 5 cars below the main
Try to
line,
back
but
off
they're
and generate
going
a
2 by
run
2.
on the entry to the corner and then pull back down in front of Sammy Smith. I would say into turn 3, if they can have the momentum right there. Pulls down here. Does he have any kind of a run? A little bit. I don't think he timed that out as well as he wishes. He can slide back up, though. Wow, great job right there. That's the island hop that you talk about, Parker.
You know, it's interesting you try this now. Getting out of line makes something happen. And to me, it allows you to learn for later in the race what might be able to transpire, but it also gives you a chance to recover if it doesn't work out, because there is still an eternity remaining in this race. When they come by the start-finish line this time around, it'll be 18 to go.
Yeah, well, from about 5th back, they're getting impatient. Yes. Everybody's wanting to time this out. Everybody's wanting to be like Jesse, the first one to get to the bottom. And when we see that high shot, when you see the gaps, they do that intentionally because they're trying to generate some momentum for when they pull down and make that pass. We've seen a couple of cars pull down, though, but they had to get right back up in line. Not enough people were committed to doing it. And when they do that and try to create those gaps, it gives this bottom lane a ton of momentum here. Shorter distance, even though they don't have the drafting help, they're able to make up distance through the corners and then try to side draft down the straightaways to start gaining some momentum. Sammy Smith's begging right now, please, someone in front of me pull down so we can get a line formed. Watch how much ground he will gain when they get to the corner because of the distance difference. He'll drive up by 1 or 2 cars. They slow down just a little bit, whether it's from checking up, creating gaps, or just the distance overall. But then when they get back to the straightaway, it might be a little better here because he's got some more help now on the bottom.
Keep this in mind. Points are in. Every position is a point, and it's so tight at the cut right now between teammates Sammy Smith, Carson Kvapil, and even though they're done, I mean, Mayer and Jones still not too far back as we think about the elimination race at Martinsville, and those drivers, they're going to have a chance to go to Phoenix and run for the championship. 17 left at Talladega, and the mixing has begun.
Sammy Smith sees 1 or 2 more cars up there
to pull down in front. If one of them can get a run right here on the track and they get to turn 3, pull down and drive up beside Austin Hill, you're hoping you can side draft and pull them back. It's interesting that Sanchez not able to keep up on that bottom row. He's had a good car all day long, but not able to maintain with those guys, other 2 cars up front.
And I'd keep an eye on that orange and black car behind Carson Kvapil. That's Jeff Burton. He was pretty aggressive in terms of pushing. He tried to go at one point with his team, his cousin there, Harrison Burton. It didn't work, but I look at him as one that could be one to drop down.
Thought Sammy Smith might have another run here. He has Honeyman behind him, pushing him. Thought he might be able to generate enough of a run to pull back down to the bottom. He's done a great job of being able to work that, though, and then slide back up in the small gaps that are in front of him. Same thing with Jesse Love.
Been a wild race today. A couple of big crashes. Produced 2 red flags, both of those coming inside of 10 laps to go in the stages, stage 1 and stage 2. But now that we've hit this final stage, a lot of good drivers eliminated, less cars in the draft, and we are in our best rhythm of the afternoon. And now that we're inside of 15 laps to go this time around, everybody is, running that outside lane, but we know it's just a matter of time before they start dicing once more. We've seen some experimenting. When does the next run come?
You can't wait too long. If you do, especially if you're outside the top 15 like Nick Sanchez, who's fallen all the way to 18th now at the back of this line here, you need this to happen sooner than later. Think about cautions that could potentially take laps away, and once it starts, you'll end up 2 and 3 wide, and then you can't go anywhere. So you want this to start happening sooner or later, especially if you're outside the top 10.
And if you're asking at home, why doesn't everybody do that? We saw it work out for Sammy Smith. Sanchez did the same move. It did not work out for him. He has a good car, but the gaps didn't open up. We saw him fade all the way to the back of the pack.
Let's get an update. All guy running second, Dylan.
Well, just want to recap their day. Spoke with Jim Pullman, the crew chief, earlier today, and he said scoring points is our only goal this afternoon. They've scored more points than any of the other playoff guys they're racing, so that's mission accomplished. They can kind of go for the win now. Don't know if there will be any sort of team games being played to try to assist the 8 car if he drops down at all, to try to get both junior motorsports cars a little bit further forward. But Allgaier liked his car all day today, is in a really good spot, Kim, to potentially lead the inside lane if somebody bails out of the top.
And Dylan, as we talk points, how about Sammy Smith in the ground he's made in the standings as they run +1? Came into this race -24, and crew chief Philip Bell was very optimistic, said we need to make good ground in the standings. They've done that so far. He also said we have to race aggressively. Aggression was a word I heard from the team over and over again. We've seen that from Sammy today. He actually said you have to be aggressive to stay out of trouble, was his view. Didn't have a ton of confidence on super speedways before last year's win, but the team said after that win, something has kind of clicked with him. Right now, spotter Frankie Kimmel just giving him reads on where the momentum is going to be building so he can make moves when he needs to.
Aggressive. I think that was the drinking word in the garage this weekend, because everyone said it. It doesn't matter if you're playing offense, if you're playing defense, you have to be aggressive with your moves. And I feel like the best is yet to come in that regard as everyone tries to make something happen.
Christian Eckes drops down. Nick Sanchez finally has a friend there. They're fighting to side draft here down the backstretch. They can't get anyone to drop down with them. It's such a helpless feeling there as Jeb looks down.
Jeb puts it down there. Eckes. That's it.
His cousin let him back in line there. Those two worked so well together to get to the front earlier that I think they're trying to sort of set something up where they can work together again.
And I don't understand why Sanchez isn't side drafting. He's coming off the corner and staying way down. I don't know if that car's hot, and maybe that's why he's running down there just trying to get air to it, but it's not helping Eckes in front of him at all. Those cars super slow on the straightaway by themselves. This lap traffic plays a huge effect also. As you pass those cars, it'll slow down the cars that are initially passing them from the air and allow the cars behind to catch up a little bit.
And one of the things that's hurting the ability of Sammy Smith to maybe make a move here, maybe Jesse Love, as you look at who's behind them. You have Leland Honeyman, who has a little bit of left front damage, so he's probably content to be riding right there. Obviously running the top 10, which is not
another car down there.
Probably content to be there right now, not trying to make any sort of moves to take them out of that position. And so they're sort of lockstep and not allowing any sort of momentum or cars to drop down that far up.
Well, and if you don't have a fast car, your best strategy is to commit to whoever's in front of you. Don't try to be a hero and make the move. If you don't have a quick car, get behind a quick car and follow them through.
RCR's led 50 laps today, 31 out front for Austin Hill, who swept the stage. His teammate Jesse Love started on the pole. He's led 19 and rides third.
I feel like Love is trying to get that gap built. If you watch on the entry to 1, you'll see him back up, and I feel like he's intentionally backing up to Eric to try to get that run time out. And you'll do that multiple laps in a row to try to figure where you can let up, how much you can slow down, and you're also trying to mess up the rhythm of those two in front because they know you're doing that, so they're backing up as well. But if you see him doing that, that's intentional. That's trying to figure out how much can I slow down. Now I'm wide open. How much of a run can I get down the front straightaway? Can I back up into Eric Almirola, who's right behind me?
Down on the Jones on the inside, teetering around with his damaged car.
When you need it. All right, and it's a delicate game.
10 to go. We're still single file.
Trying to figure out that rhythm and mix of the pedals to figure out exactly how to do that, where the timing works best. Should it happen on the front stretch? Should it happen on the back stretch? These are all the things you're testing and plotting right now when you're in his position, thinking that, hey, this could ride up top all the way to the last lap. What's going to be my move? I've got to figure that out.
10 laps to go, and you think about the historical perspective, Austin Hill being out front and an opportunity to get to double digits in wins at the drafting tracks. He's already the all-time wins leader. Look who he's in front of. Earnhardt and Stewart are Hall of Famers. They have 8. Dale Jr.'s in the Hall of Fame. He has 7 drafting wins in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Hill could hit 10 today and sweep the
21 would then
here
get locked into the
Talladega.
Owners' Championship, even though Hill himself did not advance. The 21 car did.
Like this, I've been a part of a lot of them, and my heart still takes off when he gets to the end. And you still, because you know all of the thoughts that are going through these drivers' heads and what they want to have happen and what they're trying to make
9
happen.
to go.
And it doesn't take just the move you make. It takes the people around you to make decisions as well that don't crush you and that can maybe benefit you as well.
Big guys, be ready, be paying attention. The move can come at any time from anybody.
Right, and that's what you're doing if you're in his position, Austin Hill. You're just simply thinking, where's it going to come from? Where's the run? Who's going to make the move? Where's the line going to happen? As we see that some of the cars back there trying to make something happen on the bottom, led by Nick Sanchez. He's been the most aggressive at that throughout this entire run. Jeb Burton looks like he tried to get there and help them. That's not working out for him. And as I look back there, I see Eckes, Sanchez, Daniel Dye. Why not? You know, at this point, Carson Quapple, for sure. Why not try and help that bottom lane? Get down to the bottom, try to make some momentum.
And obviously I love Hill's position because he's leading, but I also like the fact that if Allgaier pulls out, it's his teammate behind him. You got to think if Jesse Love has a choice to help Allgaier or help Austin Hill, he's going to help his teammate.
Hey, I think Daniel Dye listened to me. He dropped down right there.
8 laps to go, and you talk about when do you make the move. And the other thing I would add now that we're inside of 10 laps remaining is the reminder, once you take the white flag, if the caution comes out at that point, the race is over. And so you want to make sure you're in the right position at the white because you may not get a chance to make that move.
We have a half
if
hour,
the caution flies.
40
Just
minutes
another
to sundown.
thing to have in
Coming
the
out
back
of 7
of
to
your
go,
mind
there are
as we
still
come
single
to
file.
7 laps to go.
If I'm Allgaier, though, if I have my choice, I don't want to make my move to the last lap. I want to wait as long as I can, and it's so hard inside of the car. They're counting these laps down for you, but you want to wait till the very end. If you're back where Eric is, you want to do with like a couple of laps to go. You might need a little more time.
It's the weirdest feeling because it's sort of calm. Your heart rate can be a little bit lower, and you're just waiting for that moment, anticipating it almost. It's like watching a scary movie and waiting for the jump scare. You know it's coming, but you just don't know when. That's how some of these drivers are feeling as they ride this line right
here. You're running 10,000 scenarios through your head of if he does this, this is what I'll do. You're going through all of those scenarios. You see those guys getting 3 wide in the back, and that only helps the ones in front. They got to be single file and kind of work as a group to get to the front. You can't be passing each other on the bottom.
Now, we talk about Austin Hill and how good he is in the draft, but you look at the top 5, and they're not there by mistake. It's their career victories in this configuration. Yeah, Austin Hill is the best, but Allgaier's done it. A pair of wins for Jesse Love. Eric Almirola has 2. And Sammy Smith went to victory lane in this race a season ago. They're all capable, and they've all done it before.
Someone get out. Can we get a second lane running, please?
Racing. 6 laps now, 5.5 to decide it at Talladega.
Oh, the patience is just incredible of these guys in the front to lap after lap to stay disciplined. As you see,
finally, we see drivers dipping down.
Harrison right behind
Harrison Burton, Jeb Burton.
Earlier in the race. Sanchez. Well.
They were being aggressive just a lap or two earlier. They were trying to link up there with Nick Sanchez. They've now done that. The colleague cars of Eckes and Daniel Dye just got back to the top lane. They were trying to make the bottom work.
Jeb's back in the top. Harrison's trying to get back to the top. 5 to go.
5 laps to go. Austin Hill leading, and I think about their regular season, won 3 times, but lost all of his playoff points when he was suspended for that rough driving incident. And that loss of playoff points, even though he made the playoffs, he didn't have those to lean on in the postseason, so he failed to advance from the round of 12 to the round of 8. He's been eliminated. He said, my focus is go out and win races down the stretch, and that 21 car still a part of the owner's equation when you talk about the championship side of things. So something to race for.
Still on the bottom. Move, people!
In the 7 car, I'm going to watch my outside. Jesse Love's notorious to get to your outside. He's got a lot of momentum. His teammate in front of him.
As they run, Dillis and Allgaier would walk into the next round.
Perkins really loose right here, trying to block Eckes on his inside.
I'm surprised. They had 4 or 5 cars at one point there on the bottom. Good cars.
Big picture here.
And just weren't able to make the bottom materialize. No one else wanted to drop down with them.
Patience here, all the spotters. Everybody's preaching the same thing. So hard to do inside the car.
Well, I think one of those radios was Jesse Love, who's plus 44. You don't want to do something crazy to throw away the advantage you've created as you think about Martinsville next weekend, even though you desperately want to go win this race and lock into Phoenix.
Jesse Love's not thinking about that right now.
More cars are dropping down again. Just don't bail. I see Sanchez.
Can I get to the front right here?
See Burton.
Gonna be 3
laps
to go.
Do something!
Allgaier starting to move around just a little bit, making Austin look in his mirror. These guys have been incredible. I can't believe we've made it to 3 to go without any of those 5 making a move, trying to do something.
There goes Daniel Dye to the bottom, joining Christian Eckes. I'd be surprised if Blaine Perkins is able to clear them if he doesn't drop down. Same with Jeb Burton. Feel like if they can get 5 or 6 cars in that bottom lane, this is going to work. It should have some momentum. There goes Jeb.
Oh, finally. Jeb Burton drops back down.
Momentum. You saw him turn down. Be able to get a row or 2 right here. Pretty good position there for Burton. If they can
someone drop down.
I think that one of these guys,
Sammy Smith, is going to be watching this.
He's going to do it. They see the momentum coming right here. Look at the Love.
Stack up on the top lane. Jesse Love pulls down. Finally, we're getting something happening here.
Austin Hill leading, 2 laps to go. Love out of line. Got Jeb Burton down there.
Sammy Smith looking. Oh! Oh, don't be an idiot! No! My points! God damn it!
Nearly went up and over, did the 19.
Yeah,
well, there goes my point lead.
Eric got turned head on into the wall.
We'll go to overtime
Sammy.
at Talladega.
Wow, that hurt.
Yeah, just a
Jeb Burton with damage.
really hard, awkward hit. But they got 3 wide the track. Yeah, it was. They were trying. The 8 of Sammy Smith went to the middle, got caught there, tried to slide back
damn it,
in,
man.
caught the 19 at the same time, and turned the 19 into the 27, who he ricocheted off of into the wall.
Damage for Jeb Burton, looking for his third win at Talladega.
What was my point lead? 22?
Said he's all right.
Like, am I
waiting for that move to be made? And then once everyone started going,
I had a 28-point gap.
Couldn't get synced
I've been
up.
running behind
That's what shot
the
Almirola
guy
out
who's in the
line
point lead,
and
who's
brings out
running trying to
our
catch
5th
me,
caution
got
of
Austin
the day.
Hill. Damn.
AMR safety team hustles over.
So here they are. It starts to get stacked up on the top. Jesse Love basically gets forced to the bottom in some respects. I think that was a tick earlier than he wanted to go. He probably wanted to wait till the 27 was further up there. Then the 8 there, Sammy Smith goes to the middle. The 27 puts him 3 wide, and at that point he wanted to sort of get back up. Eric Almirola was also trying to cover down at the same time, gets turned into Jeff Burton, ricochets off him into the wall in front of the field there. Really scary angle to be turned towards the outside wall.
Yeah, the 19 had a bad angle hitting the outside. As you see, the 8 gets just to his inside. 3 wide right there. Watch the 19. He gets turned up into the wall, and Daniel Dye also had a massive hit on the inside wall. Car almost goes over. Oof.
Big crash into stage 1. 10 cars involved. The crash toward the end of stage 2 collected 6 vehicles. And 5 cars a part of this one that will lead us to overtime to finish things at Talladega. And the headliner, Eric Almirola, running up front, turned hard into the wall. And as we talked about, nearly went up and
almost
over
hit Carson
in front of the traffic that was driving by.
Such a shame for Jeff Burton as well, who's getting back up there in that bottom lane. And I believe, as you mentioned, Jamie, behind them,
yeah, the
Daniel Dye gets turned there.
Yeah, the 10 car is about 2 back right here. You see him, the red, yellow car. You see he gets spun around, and I saw the angle from the aerial view. He went down, huge impact on the inside wall as well. Very similar to what Eric had in the outside wall. Maybe see it a little better from this perspective. Watch the 1 car as well back there. He barely sneaks by one of our playoff drivers. Sees all this, tries to get something. Look at Daniel Dye right here. Watch this impact right here.
Oh my God!
It's almost it was a front, but also almost a right side square into the wall.
Very reminiscent of Justin Allgaier there.
Yeah.
Off turn 2.
That's a bad hit.
What happened springtime a year ago
to Zilich.
Yeah,
that was at the end of stage 1 when Allgaier hit the wall so hard.
I think that Daniel saw the wreck and started to slow down, and Sanchez was behind him. Just didn't see what was going on right there. As we ride on board with Jeff Burton, we'll see his perspective.
We're getting back. Sammy Smith, I guess because he got damaged. He's rolling around the apron.
About teammates, right? What's going on is it going to impact everyone at Junior Motorsports? What's up with the 7 car, Dylan?
Yeah, let's get Jim Pullman, the crew chief for All Guyers' thoughts. Okay, teammates are starting to run out. What's the level of concern for you?
Very big. Yeah, we're going to have to come down and top it off with fuel.
Problem with fuel. Okay,
so
we're
going to have to.
All right, you feel like you guys are going to be able to drive back through here?
Yeah, I think so. We'll be all right. There's enough time.
All right, they got to get to work here on the 7 car. They were about 2.5 gallons to the good when that yellow came out, and then with the 1 and the 8 starting to run out, the decision made come down to just be safe.
And here's the other thought on all of this, just to infuse a little more drama, and that is the sunset rule. As the sun continues to set here in central Alabama at 7 Eastern time, 6 o'clock local. Once we hit that time, there will be 2 laps to go in the race. Now, right now, once everything cycles through, we get reset, we should be fine. But something you have to be aware of if you're these race teams, should we get a couple of more overtime sessions.
This worked out. It's going to be close, though. Yeah. It's going to be close. Does the 8 beat them off pit road?
I think he's going to make it. It looks like to me like he's far enough in front of him. He's going to just clear them.
And
yes, he does. Sammy Smith is gonna finally lap.
Be able to make that work, and he does.
He got a push just in time, and he had to be incredibly patient there because you can't just plug it in and start to fire the motor. They have to make sure it has fuel pressure and then fire it, otherwise it'll die, Kim.
And you see Jesse Love, they're going to go on offense and take tires since they had to come for fuel anyway. He had thought he had saved enough, but then as that caution came down, or under the pace laps, the caution laps, he did say he lost fuel pressure, so better safe than sorry, they're going to fill it up.
So Jesse Love pits. Let's get his team radio. Here's Austin Hill.
Yeah, I just stuttered a little bit for some reason, or stuttered. I mean, yeah, if you think you're out, we're going to have to come. I probably should have pitted 7 and 2 just pitted. I didn't even know it was pitting. I was sitting here talking, my bad.
So the teammate feeling the other side of it. And boy, has this race been turned upside down. Caution comes out, a lap and a half to go. And we knew it was tight for everybody based on the way the stages were set up and when you would make your pit stops. And because we've gone to overtime running these extra laps, it has compromised the situation for a lot of these race teams.
Well, and historically, when you're riding a line up top like you do there, that's when these teams will save a lot of fuel. You're able to ride partial throttle. You can extend it very far. We see that at Atlanta often at those races. But he didn't know, and he was leading the top.
So most likely using more fuel than anybody else. And the farther back you are in that top groove, the less fuel you use. But you got to think all these guys get very similar fuel mileage, and to see all those cars having to pit, knowing they came to pit road the same time, you got to think the 21's going to have to pit here.
And you see all of them on the flat. That's because the fuel runs away from the pickup, which is at the right rear corner of the fuel cell. So they'll all ride on the flat off the banking when they're going slow here, trying to keep fuel going to that pickup and obviously using as little fuel as you possibly can. He stays out again.
Green-white checkered at Talladega. It's a long time.
Well, then you worry about if you have a stumble when you go green, and what that does to stack everybody up and create another caution and have a bunch of damage.
So the spring race here last year, we were in this same position late in the race. My car stumbled as we got going in the lead. The 2 got in the back of us. We ended up wrecking. That's the risk. If it even stumbles for a second, if you have another car right behind you pushing you,
he's lost the race at Daytona due to a stumble, having a stumble.
The shoes here, and you look at those playoff drivers that made pit stops. Carson Kvapil, the best of the bunch, going to restart just outside the top 10, but he's got a real opportunity to make something happen here, especially when you consider all those drivers in front of him did not pit.
Well, we're going to have some more fuel issues with what we've seen.
But look at this and the opportunity here. I mean, we got Austin Hill, who's the best ever in the draft.
Yep.
Behind him, a bunch of drivers, some that have never won in the draft and not won at all in their career.
I mean, it's just drafting off of there, and there's 0 still beside all those other guys. Yeah.
I mean, Honeyman's never won. Williams, Eckes, Blaine Perkins, 7 of the top 10 have never won in the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
And for these cars that chose the outside lane, they're having to ride through the banking here slow, as those cars that are on the bottom lane can go to the apron, which has a lot less banking, keep more fuel to this right side of the fuel cell. You'll see them keep weaving. That's not to help their tires out. That's to keep the fuel at the back right rear corner of the fuel cell.
Overtime rules, 2-lap shootout. Once a leader takes the white flag, next flag ends the race, whether that's the caution or they get back to the checkers. But what the top 10 definitely does not want to see, caution before we get the white flag, which means another restart. We have unlimited attempts, and with the fuel question marks for all those drivers in the top 10, multiple overtimes could be disastrous. Here's 21 radio.
Almost like we have to go bottom just because of the fuel situation.
For sure. We're overthinking it. We got to race. What it is, what it is. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be.
They're in a unique position because they're out of the
Please run out of gas. Please.
And they're going for the win. He's going for his 10th win on a drafting track.
All these cars trying to swerve that fuel. You don't want to have an air bubble.
All right, Josh Williams to the outside of Austin Hill.
Oh
my God. All right, here we go. Green, green, green. It's Talladega overtime. Green, white checker, number 1.
So far, so good. It looks like all those cars are accelerating. See, Honeyman's giving a big...
Oh, the 45's out of gas, and he was up front. Everyone gets around him, but that's going to hurt the outside.
Away with the race lead. Can he hang on?
Honeyman second, Perkins third, Eckes fourth, fifth is Kyle C. Here they go down the backstretch.
Carson might be in a great position right here because he is going to have the most fuel.
Eckes jumps up in that outside lane in front of Quapple.
And can the 21 even make it? A massive gap out there. Eckes down to the bottom.
Honeyman hanging with Austin Hill.
Up the third around Perkins, barely clears him. Here's Quapple trying to come around the top side. Eckes tries to block.
It's so unorganized.
Sanchez
right now.
up to third.
Carson fortunate to get by Blaine Perkins right there.
Sanchez trying to find a run around Honeyman. He's going to get there with a push from Cesar Baccarella. Here they go. White flag. Last lap at Talladega. 4 wide as they come across the line.
The season sweep.
Who has enough gas, or do they have enough gas is the question right now.
Look at Justin Allgaier down here on the bottom right now.
Allgaier's up to third.
What a comeback this would be for the reigning champ.
Here's a push from Eckes to Sanchez. Here they come. Oh, he gets turned. Oh, he saved it.
If we get a caution, it's over. Hill leads.
Wow. How did he save it? Hitting the wall. But Hill is still leading, and we are still green.
The 16's bumper, they might have enough.
Can the 7, look at the run the 7 has getting to the 1.
Here they come off the turn 4 for the final time. Big block by Hill. Another big block by Hill. Here they come to the tri-oval. He had never won at Talladega before this year. Will it be a season sweep? They come to the line. Hill wins at Talladega. Damn it, man. God damn it, man.
It looked like Hill was swerving coming
Wait, Cesar Baccarella top 5? Wow. Damn.
He wasn't worried.
Look at that top 5. Austin Hill, Carson Quapple, Justin Allgaier, Christian Eckes, and Cesar Baccarella with a top 5 finish. Unreal.
God damn it, man.
I think he was weaving because if you look at the one of Carson Quapple, he was weaving, just trying to find a way to get beside the 21, and potentially if the 21 ran out of fuel, would have had the momentum to the line. Not to be.
14 career wins for Austin Hill. 10 have come in the draft. 2 at Talladega. And this had been the place where he couldn't get it done. Prior to this year, even though he had been good at Talladega, he had never finished the deal, had never had a top 10 finish at this place. Wins in the springtime and...
Well, okay. Meralt, I'm scared of me. All right, Zilich and Allgaier lock in.
Form a lot. And now the victory burnout presented by Krispy Kreme, because every win deserves something sweet, and so do you. Head to your local Krispy Kreme on Monday to get an original glazed dozen for only $12 with the code BURNOUT. And before he asks Jamie, yes, I'll make my way to the drive-thru.
That's right. So good. Some donuts for the donuts. I like it. It's good play.
Let's talk about drivers clinching a spot in the championship 4. Hill does it on the owner's side, but on the driver's side, Allgaier for an 8th time in his career is going to the championship for. Just remarkable what he's done. He'll have an opportunity to defend his championship in Phoenix. And his teammate, the rookie sensation who's been outstanding all year long, had the top 5 streak in today, but Connor Zilic is going to Phoenix to run for the championship, fitting for him.
Because those two had so many stages, so many points. It was both managed to clear a race early. That's rare.
It takes us overtime to settle it. Fuel mileage, a part of the equation, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, well that does it for Xfinity. I can't believe I sat through that for a hill win, but you know that just happens sometimes. I never watched the 2017 Daytona 500. Anyway, thanks to everyone who showed up today. Hope you all had a good time. And BowserJrXD signing off. Have a good one, and see you tomorrow for the Cup race.